I'm live from the not finished but finished enough studio where I can start unpacking all of that mess. So I figured, why not do this live? One of the things that I like to tell myself, I'm just getting the chat up here on my computer. One of the things that I like to tell myself is that sometimes it's easier to do this stuff when you actually have somebody to hang out with. So I'm gonna hang out this morning. I'm gonna work on trying to get as much stuff out of boxes and onto shelves as I can. I have an idea of how I want to organize my stuff, but if I'm being completely real, I know I'm not going to be able to take it out and make it perfectly organized right away. So my goal is just to kind of take things out of the boxes and put them with their excuse me, put them with their partners. So my pre-cuts, I'm going to sort into, these are my layer cakes, these are my fat quarters, these are my charm squares, these are my mini charms, these are my jelly rolls. My yardage, I'm going to put into areas where it's my yardage. And the idea here is that I know I'm going to have to spend some time organizing the shelves. But you know what? Here's a secret. I love to organize stuff. So that really doesn't intimidate me too much. I'm really excited about being able to do that. But I've got to start somewhere, and it's one step at a time, right? I could be overwhelmed with the whole idea of taking all of these boxes, which I'll pan and show you, but I promise you that one is that pile is as tall as I am. There are boxes and totes out here. I could feel overwhelmed about having to have all this stuff out of the box and organized and beautiful, like going from here to there. But the reality is it's a step-by-step journey. So I am in my studio. It is 53 degrees in here. They do not have the mini split installed yet. I am still wearing pajamas. And I put a hoodie on. I didn't take a shower. I didn't do my hair. I didn't do any of that stuff. So if you are thinking about leaving me a comment about my appearance, please save it. I did not feel like I needed to get myself dolled up to put in manual labor. So I'm gonna start doing that. You can see I've got some stuff in the shelf already. All the stuff that's up here is one tote's worth of stuff. And it's also all the stuff that was on my mantle in my makeshift stash. I brought it out here and I just started putting it up here, and I've kind of got an idea for how I'm organizing it. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I do have the live chat going so I can see. I'm going to make this a little bit easier for me to read. I can actually read your comments as I'm going. So if you have questions, comments, whatever, maybe you have a project that you're working on today that you want to tackle, but it intimidates you, then please go grab it. Let's tackle those intimidating projects together. What better way to do it than hanging out with friends? So I am just gonna, my eyes are old. I need to make the font on my computer bigger so that I can read it from across the room. Oh, that's it. Yep, that would do her. That would do her. Yay. So I'm gonna tell you honestly, I was thinking I was going to do a time lapse of this, and I don't think I'm going to do a time lapse of the unboxing because it's just too much work to set up a camera to do the time lapse while I'm doing the live stream. This is it. This is my unboxing video, but I might do like a time lapse of organizing a shelf or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So let's get to it. Oh goodness. I brought my chair out because I'm not going to be able to sit for that entire time. It'd just be hard. So I just want to see if you can see me while I'm sitting. You can see the top of my head. That's good. Love the color you chose for your walls. Thank you, girl. I love your shelves. Thank you. Oh, look. This is almost, I'm going to angle you down a little bit, but this is kind of a little bit like Christmas morning because I don't remember what's in each box. Even though I labeled them, I just don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen this stuff. Sorry, the camera's shaky because I have to fix the tripod. There, that should do her. That way. Oh, and now you're crooked. Let me just make you not crooked. Are the outlets above the shelves? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's a little bit better. Okay, you're still crooked. Damn. Ah. Always something. I think that'll do it. Yeah, whatever. So each of these boxes were packed up in July or August, and I really just don't know what's in each one. So tonight is going to be focused on reconnecting with the items in the box, and as I pull things out, I am going to decide whether it stays or it goes. That's the goal of today. Everything comes out of a box, and if it stays, it goes on the shelf. And if it goes, it's going to go in a tote by the door. So I'm just going to create a donate pile. That's my goal for today. Once everything's out of the boxes, then I will go through and worry about organizing and all of that other stuff. And I can see the chat, so I'm going to try and answer questions and talk to you along the way. Sylvia says, the wall color and the shelves look amazing. Take your time settling in. Oh, I love organizing, so that'll be right up my alley. Somebody was asking if there are outlets above the shelves. There are. In fact, I'll just talk to you a little bit about the design of the room, and then I'll pan you around before I start digging into the boxes. So I'm fortunate enough that I got to design a 20 by 20 space. This is pretty big. It's gonna hold my long arm, it's gonna hold my Martelli table, it's gonna hold a little seating area, and it's gonna hold my desk. In fact, right about here is where my sewing desk is going to be, my cabinet with my machine in it. And it's going to be beautiful. I think I'm even going to be able to have space for a nice design wall and a big bunch of quilt displays. So, I mean, we can always use bigger studios, if I'm being completely honest, but this isn't too shabby of a space. It is very well insulated. When the mini split is installed, I will have dedicated heating and cooling. So I'm really excited about that. One of the things that I did in this space is really wanted to pay close attention to the electrical. And the reason why I did that is because when we moved into our other home, I was not a quilter when we bought that house, and eventually ended up taking over the basement. And the entire basement in my old home was on one circuit. So anytime I turned on my iron, I tripped stuff. Anytime I made a cup of coffee, I tripped stuff. It was annoying. And so I paid an electrician to come out about a year before we sold the house and really fix that problem in the basement. He gave me a 20 amp outlet at my machine so that everything would run off it, my iron, my machine, all that stuff. And he broke the basement up into 2 or 3 different circuits so that if something did get tripped, it wasn't going to trip the rest of the basement. I still had lights because, man, like I would turn on my iron, the whole basement would go dark. So I wanted to make sure I was taking that into consideration since I was building from essentially the ground up out here. So what I have in this space are 3 dedicated circuits. 3 circuits. One, all by its little lonesome, is for the mini split. So the heating and cooling is going to run on its own system, just like a house would have their own HVAC system. And then I have 2 circuits that are filling this space. Underneath these boxes, there is an outlet in the floor. It is we call it the home run because it is the big daddy. It is a dedicated circuit and it is a 20 amp. So everything at my desk will be able to run off of that, no problem. And then the rest of the outlets on all of the walls are running on a second circuit, and the lights are technically by themselves. So I guess maybe 4 circuits are coming to this place. It is a powerhouse. The outlets were really fun because I got to think about where I wanted to put them, and I strategically had to think about, okay, what am I going to be doing in each area of this room? I know that once I set it up, I might want to change it up a little bit by changing some of the decorations or stuff, but I know enough to know that I'm really probably not going to be rearranging the furniture because that just doesn't make sense. For example, I'm sitting right here, which is kind of at the left side of where my sewing table will be. And I know my table is always going to be right here facing this way. Why? I'll show you when I pick up the camera and do a pan. That side of the room, actually I'll just show you right now. That side of the room is amazing because it has this beautiful door, and that wall is going to be all windows. So when I'm sewing, that is my view. Now you can see there's actually a glider there already, and that is in prep for Mama Nancy, we're going to put 2 armchairs in front of that window, and then hanging from the ceiling, I'll just pan you up very slowly. You can see there's a hole in the ceiling. We're taking the chandelier from our breakfast nook and we're going to hang it from there because nobody really likes it out there anyway, and I think it's gorgeous. So that's going to be a little seating area. And when I pan over to that corner where the blue and the gray meet, my Martelli table fits there perfectly. And then as I continue to pan over to the right a little bit, this wall is where my long arm is going to be. These are where all the boxes are, so you're not going to be able to see anything. I do have my outlets at the top, but I'm going to pan you back to the left very slowly. Try not to make you sick. I do have a tripod to help with that. But as you look at the wall to the right when you come in, this is going to be my design wall, and I'm trying to think of ways that I can hang some quilts, like big quilts for display. So I think a nice decorative curtain rod would work. And I also feel like I've got plenty of space up above the door and the window to do some lovely mini quilts. So I've got lots of space to kind of decorate and store and use, if you will. Where I was going with that is the outlets. So I knew functionally where all my workstations were going to be. I put an outlet underneath the windows because in my mind I thought it would be really nice to be able to sit there and charge your phone while you're visiting, or maybe you just want to plug something in. It's not designed to run an iron or big machines or anything, but it is great for being able to charge your phone, your iPad. Mom always needs to be able to plug into stuff while she's there anyway, so whoever's visiting can be able to do that. I do have on this wall and this wall behind me outlets, but they're at the top, and here's why. So for the shelves behind me, I knew, this was a lesson I had learned from my previous studio in the basement. When I put my shelves up, I lost access to the outlets behind the shelves, and oh my goodness, you need those outlets. So I asked, since we were putting new drywall in and we were doing electrical anyway, could we just take those outlets and move them about, 8.5 feet up, 9 feet up? And they said, sure. So I think I've got like 10 feet ceilings in here actually, because those shelves are 8 feet and there's about 2 feet on top of them. So they moved them up. So I have 2 outlets up there, and then over here on this wall where my design wall and everything's going to be, there's another outlet at the top of the wall there too. And the idea is that if I need to get to power, I can. Now for that wall, I really don't know what I'm going to ever plug in up there, but if I ever decide I want to put shelving over there too, it's not going to be covered up by a shelf. For this wall, I know in my head what I would love to be able to do is some sort of lighting right above, like right on the top of those shelves. Maybe like an LED strip that could change colors from a phone, or maybe some like reading lamps like they have at IKEA where they sit on the edge of the bookshelves and they give you little pools of light looking down onto your bookcase. So that's probably what I'll put up there. It's not going to be it's not going to be an energy hog, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. As far as, I don't know, that was the outlet. I don't really know what else to say. So I'm just going to start opening stuff. I'm going to talk about what I find. I'm going to show you what I find, and I'm going to make decisions for what I'm going to keep and what I'm not going to keep. And if you guys end up grabbing a box from me, a D-Stash mystery box from me, then you'll have an idea of what could possibly be in it, because they will all be definitely mysteries. If the shelves are permanent, you can put the outlet in the shelves itself. I guess I could have, but I didn't. Oh well. Well, I also wanted the outlet to be above the shelves, because I knew I did want to do lighting looking down, and I didn't want to have to run wire. I don't have them yet, so listen, it is what it is. What is in my coffee? There is a little floaty in my coffee. Whatever. It's not there now. Thank you, Sue. She says she's so happy for me. You could put those shelf lights on a timer. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. All right. So I know enough to know that the shelves, the way they're spaced right now, are not going to be the way they stay. And I am missing some light over here, by the way. You can see the middle is a little darker than kind of over here and down there. And there's a recessed light that should be installed right there that the guys haven't done yet. They'll be doing next week. So I know enough to know that things aren't going to stay the size they are right now. So I'm just going to start setting stuff on the shelf if I'm keeping it. And I'm going to try to keep them with their partners. You can put lighted Christmas decorations up there. That'd be great. All right, so this is a bin that has all of my hardware. It has my zippers in it. It has like purse hardware, basically, bag hardware. I don't do bags often, but you know, sometimes you need those notions. So this is something I want to keep. I'm just gonna put it down here on the bottom for now. I'll reorganize, rearrange it later. Ooh, got a package of batting. This is Dream Orient from Quilter's Dream. I always buy I actually buy it in bulk. I have a wholesale account with Dream Orient. I love their stuff. And whenever they send it, I always get the pre-packaged Dream Orient queen size because then I don't have to deal with the roll. I don't want to deal with the roll of batting. And I have a size that'll fit just about anything I'm going to do, and it'll have some good scraps that I can use for bags and stuff. So I know I'm obviously going to keep my batting. I'm just going to put this on the shelf down here too. All right. Oh, these are cute. I forgot about these. These are pictures of my family. I'll show you up close. This is my grandparents with their neighbors from a long time ago. And then I have a picture of just my niece when she was little here, and then my brother and sister with their puppy here. So I'm just gonna, these are decorative touches I want to keep in my room. Can't quite reach that top shelf, but I'm gonna put decorative touches here, and then I will figure out where I want to put everything later. The goal is just to get out of the boxes. When I went to Vegas, the guys gave me a hat. This is that hat. Alright, I've got my AccuQuilt Go dies. I never use these, but I'm pretty sure I want to keep them. One day I'll use them. I'll just put those on a shelf too. I have got a ridiculous, this is not fabric box. This is laminate stuff. I'm undecided, so I'm going to set that here. Oh, get up there on that step. Oh, that is my favorite batting. It's great, isn't it? I want to try some bamboo batting. What brand does everybody use? I use Dream Orient. I think this was a Mod Podge box. It just got thrown together at the end. These are shelves to the fridge that I had in my space before. I'm gonna set these over here because I need to go to Mary. Got a project box with some fabric in it. So this will be a great opportunity for me to go through and figure out whether I want to keep this or not. This goes to a block of the month kit that I started and never finished. In fact, could this be? I think it is. Nope, it's not in here. It might be time to decide whether or not I keep that fabric because it's been about 5 years it's been sitting in there. I've got some scraps too. But this is a button. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the pattern. You guys are gonna laugh. This is hilarious. Let me tell you. So when I first started sewing, I took a class that taught us how to make a zipper pouch, which is essentially what Stephanie's going to show you tonight on her live. I made the same thing, only without the key fob attached to it. And I also made a drawstring bag, and I made a little sleeve with a button closure. We didn't get to pick fabrics. I would not have picked this flip-flop fabric, but it's really good for putting like an iPad in there or a book or whatever. And as soon as I was done with the sewing class, which by the way, I had been sewing for about 6 months or so before I took the class, I wanted to do more and I wanted to get into quilting, and they had a block of the month going and I was like, I can do that. It was for Gravity. You guys can see that. That's the quilt that they did through the block of the month. I'm definitely going to keep the pattern, and eventually I will do this. I got through 2 months and went, nope. And here's why. I'm going to take all these pieces out. Maybe I got through more than 2 months. I don't know. I'm going to show you what I did. And the reason why I said nope is because I know I got to go back and remake these pieces. So these are the blocks from the gravity quilt that I did when I very first started quilting. Take a look at this. Those points don't line up. Like right there. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I could totally, like right there is really bad. Right there. Down here, I didn't know any better. That's actually not the problem that I have with this because I would use it anyway. It's the back. Those seam allowances are pretty chunky and I didn't know any better. It just kept fraying on me. So I was cutting everything with a pinked edge. This is more like almost a half of an inch of a seam allowance. The block could not be squared up very easily without losing the fabric. It wasn't getting the size I needed. And not on this one, but on some of the other blocks that I had in here, I just really liked the way the starching felt. And so I kept adding Mary Ellen's Best Press to it. Like, I just kept doing Mary Ellen's. And so now I've got some white spots on the fabric. So this, and I didn't really love the fabric they picked for the block of the month. So this was something that I always wanted to go back and do later. And I think I will, but I think it's time to part with this. So I'm going to take the Wonder Clips off. I'm going to keep those. I'm going to put these blocks in a scrap pile that are going to go. Sometimes when I do a mystery package, like a D-Stash Fat 8 scrap bag, I'll put mystery blocks in there because it's still scrap fabric that somebody could use. All right, so those are going to go. I've got some true scraps from those months here. I'm going to put this in that pile because I didn't love it. And then I think I'm just going to look at each cut of fabric that's here and make a decision to keep or toss. I wish you guys were, I'm going to bring you a little bit closer because we all know that's part of the real fun thing here is that you can see the fabrics, right? Oops, I'm sorry. I knocked the camera. Bringing you closer. If you saw the setup, you would laugh at me. Let me bring you a little bit closer here. There we go, that'll work. I hope that'll work. Yep. Still a little chopped. Let me fix that. Hi, how's it going? Okay. It's a little bit better. Okay, fabrics that I'm getting rid of. I am going to keep this. It's a nice tone. It's not a tone on tone. This is a good neutral blender. Let's see if it has a salvage on it. Timeless Treasures. And that's all it really says. So I'm going to keep this, which means it goes on the shelf behind me. I have a couple of squares. These don't really fit as yardage or fat eighths or even fat quarters because they're just squares. So I'm going to put these in the scrap pile. They're blues. They're really pretty, but I don't want to just set this. I don't have a place for scraps right now, and I'm not going to invent one. I just want to get the yardage out. I've got a little roll of oranges. That's going to go in the scrap bag. I've got a roll of pinks. We're just going to put that in the scrap bag. I've got true scraps. That's going to go in the scrap bag. My computer turned off and I can't see what anybody's saying, so I'm going to fix that too. Ah, sorry about that. You fell. Fun times. Fun times. Let me get this set up this way. There we go. I don't know how to set this up, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get the computer where I can see the chat, but yeah, it happened again. Good grief. How many times am I going to throw you guys across the room? It's okay. Go ahead and laugh at me. It's okay. It's okay. You can laugh. You can laugh. All right. You know what I should do? I don't know. Anyway, fabric. You know what? I know that all of this is going to be scrap, so I'm going to leave it in there. I think I'm going to keep that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I think I'm going to keep that. This would be really pretty for like some Christmas stuff. It's going to stay in the box. We're going to give that away too. I am going to keep this as a good blender. Good background fabric. But all this other stuff is going to be in the get it out of here box. Get it out of here. Sorry if I made anybody motion sick with that. 55 in here. It's warming up. There goes breakfast. Well, I will, I don't know how I'm going to handle the scrap bags when they're ready. Mary said she wants my scrap bag. She always needs big scraps for quilts. I don't know how I'm going to handle that, honestly. Where's your heat? Not in yet. Not in yet. Hold on 1 second. I got an idea. I got an idea. Hopefully you won't fall. Success! The computer fell and almost pulled you with it. Shoo. See what happens when you don't have all your equipment that you normally work with? You guys are laughing at me, I'm sure. Those shelves. There we go. That's better. Okay. Got a paper pad for some notes. This is a jar of push pins, which I don't need. Some safety pins and a bunch of essential oils. So this is miscellaneous admin stuff. Actually, this here. Cute little bamboo tray. I think I got this in a box. That'll hold some things like these wonder clips I've been finding. Almost done with this box. I don't know why my mom's bathing suits are in here, but there you go, Mom. Ooh, this is gonna go. This is a stamping set for beading. So we're gonna put that in the giveaway. It is, it is if you are working maybe. What a great idea. She could put a fake fireplace to warm her up. Yes, think about a space heater for now so you don't get, I have a space heater in here, it says 56. It won't warm up the space enough to actually, well, actually I probably could work out here with 56, but it won't, this can be trash. I need to open my trash can. We'll just start putting trash in the trash. There we go. Look at this. It's like I got a system. Yep, once I get this box emptied, I'll be able to use this to start putting my donate stuff in. This one is now empty, one box down. This is trash though, so I'm gonna throw this away. Put this back here. These I'm gonna keep. This, I've got hoops for an embroidery machine that I don't have anymore. This is a letter punch set, so you can stamp metal. And this is just scrap fabric that I'm going to set in there for now. Scrap fabric! Alright, this box is done and emptied. Let's move on to the next one. Ooh, I want to keep this pattern book. So put that back on my shelves. I should be going through my stash and organizing instead of sitting here going through yours. Oh, shoot. You know what I don't have? Jay! Jason, help me. Oh, it's open. I was going to have him bring me a knife. Whoop, whoop, one box down. That's right. Oh, that's a good idea. Sell the hoops on Etsy. Or, you know, so. I have a box of toilet paper. And there is some, this is all like, this is not office stuff. Or, this isn't all Quilter Studio stuff. I think this came from, there's a couple of things in here. I don't know how these got in here. But this is more, oh, yes. Martelli sent me this. This would help me out so much right now. It could hold my phone. Oh, shoot. I'll set that aside. Yes, emergency stash of toilet paper. I'm not going to unpack this box because there's a lot of stuff in here that just I'm not going through right now. Yes, this was definitely my mom's bathroom because I had these barrettes in there. Her Effordent, her Aleve, her Fixodent. We're just gonna close this back up and we'll put it in her bathroom downstairs. I keep freezing, sorry. Hi.
Hello.
Can you bring me a knife so I can open boxes?
All right, I'll bring my box cutter.
Okay, and then maybe I might need your help moving some stuff around. Put those in the get rid of it pile. Yep. Ooh, yes, please. Got some Tula pink fabric in there and some nice big Wonder Clips. There's a couple of things in here that made it in by accident. This is mostly, this isn't ready for shelves. It's like toiletries and stuff. So can you just like go put this in that corner? Please and thank you. And then these are the shelves to that. You're so strong. My dear. These can get propped up against that box. They're the shelves to the fridge that we gave to Mary. Thank you. How do you open the box?
Propped up against what?
Just put it by the door somewhere. So next time she comes over, I can throw them at her, but not really throw them.
That would hurt.
It would, right?
Those are kind of heavy.
A little bit. I don't know how to do this thing.
Push the button.
What button? There's lots of, oh, that button.
That button.
That button.
That button. And then don't stab me in the butt.
Don't stab you in the butt, huh?
Yeah.
I figured it out. Okay. We're going to keep this fabric, so I'm just going to put it up there. The boxes are the ones that are going to be surprises because we don't know that. I know they're probably not going to be fabric, so we'll just see what we got. Ah, yes, I'm going to need this in 2 weeks. This is the interfacing that you need for a jelly roll rug. So I've got 2 of those. Glad I didn't buy more. I knew I had them. I've got a package of Insole Bright for some hot pads. I have a random Amazon Basics box with some light bulbs that fit track lighting that we didn't bring with us, and I'm not worrying about it. Oh, this is really cute. This is a mini quilt ornament set. You can't really see it, you're too far away, and I'm not going to bring you closer again because Last time I did that, I threw you across the room. I want to keep this. I'm going to put over there and I'll put it on the shelves when I'm done. This is, oh wow. This going to make me sneeze. Oh, this should be in our safe. And this needs to go to Donna Struntz. This is the materials for our baby lock. No, this one is for the Aria. This one's for the Aria, but this is for the tiara, so I'll keep those together. I'll have to send that to Donna. I don't need to keep this anymore. I don't feel like. This is a little sample pack. Maybe I will keep it because it helps me pick my types of batting. So when I got a wholesale account with Dream Orient, and they sent me this little package. This at the back can be thrown away because that's obsolete now. But it's little samples or swatches of all of the battings that they have. So I can kind of feel it and get a sense for what I want to order. So I will probably keep this because that's a good thing to have. Steam a seam. Go in the box. This is a gift that I believe Lindy made me. It's a little pin cushion and thread catcher that I like to set on my machine, so I'm going to keep that out. Picture hanging kit, keep. Cheesecloth. Where was this the other night when I got glue all over everything? Ugh, get rid of it. I've done without it this long. I don't need it. I've got matte vinyl fuse and the sew-in interfacing can go. I'll keep the vinyl. I've got some Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. I'll keep that. Baby Lock sewing upgrade. That's for the tiara. Or I'm sorry, the Aria. Got a wefty needle. I bought that like years ago and never used it. Ooh, nail file. Yeah. Yes. T-shirt interfacing here. Got a bag of random toiletries. Keep that, Becca. Keep what? The sewing interfacing? You crazy? I don't want to keep that. Are you? Unless you want it. I don't know what that is. This is something that we probably got to keep. Oh, I gotta keep that. That's a t-shirt quilt I started. No, the batting samples? Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. I've got some little S-hooks that I can use to hang things from the ceiling. I really don't know if I'm going to need these, but I'm going to hold on to that. I have my laminator. So I learned a trick with my laminator. What I do is feed through... What I do is feed through a couple sheets of laminated stuff, and I might even put a piece of paper or cardstock in there, but it makes a sturdy little, it makes it a sturdy piece of plastic that I can pull out of the machine, and I can use that to cut templates if I need to. Wasteful, probably. Ah. Okay, this needs to go to the girl I gave the Elegante to. I've got a patchwork books. Ooh, fold some fabric with these. I've got lots of books here. We'll put the books right here. Okay. 2 boxes down. Stephanie's tutorial will be in 6 hours at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Another box down. Boom! I'm getting a little yucky. I feel like I want to take a shower. That here. Batting. Can go down here. interfacing, I'm going to put on the same shelf down here, just so I have it. I'll organize it later. I just want to keep things together. Like things together. Got a template here. This is hardware, so it's kind of house stuff. This is going to be a lifesaver later. Ian texted me, "You got this, go, 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 unpack, unpack, unpack." I'm waiting for you to show up, Ian. This is a Notion pattern. I'm ready to get into something fun. Oh gosh, this one's heavy, it's gotta be fabric. Dollar store cutting mats for those, that's awesome. Oh my goodness, this is what we wanted, right? This is fabric that I already pre-cut for masks. Hi, Tommy. My kitty cat's coming out here. Send me the plane ticket. You're a nut. I'm not gonna keep this. This is all pre-washed. I'm not making any more masks. I'm done. No. Oh. Oh, it still smells like Best Press. This is scraps of Lulla. We'll hold on to that. Oh, more scraps of Lulla. No, why am I holding on to this? I have a whole quilt made out of that fabric. I don't need to hoard the scraps. In fact, that can go too. This is really pretty though. That one cannot go. We're gonna keep these. Okay, so I paid for a quilt kit to do at a retreat, and you got to pick you had to pick a layer cake and then your background and your border fabric, and I wanted to do it out of spring chicken, so I got the last layer cake from this quilt shop of spring chicken by Sweetwater, and I wanted the tone on tone Cheerio fabric to go with it, so they didn't have it. I bought something else that would work, and then I left and I went online. You guys know you have done this. You know you have done this. I went online and I found the tone on tone and I bought it. But here's where things really got interesting. I was worried I didn't have enough. So sure, or I wouldn't find it. It got packed away into a tote. It's fine, but in like September, I was like, you know, I don't really like the border fabric I chose that's waiting for me at the quilt shop. So I want the pink gingham for my border fabric. So I went online and I found it and I was like, well, you know, that tone on tone, I should get it because I can always use tone on tone for something else, even if it's not this project. So I got the tone on tone too. So I got that shipment in and I couldn't find it and I started panicking and I'm getting ready to do the project. So I was like, well, I want to be able to do this with the quilt shop. I want the fabric. So I went online and bought it again. So I have bought this fabric 3 times now. Hi, Tom. Bye, Tom. Anyway. Ooh, yes. Where was this when I was picking out my weight loss fabric? It's a layer cake of the, gosh, this is, I want to say it's like Happy Day. It doesn't say on here what it is. I think it's Happy Day. Stephanie will be able to tell us. Is this the Corey Yoder Happy Day line? I think so. Because it's not Balboa, it's not purple enough, but I think that's Happy Day. Oh, you know what this is? The border for a quilt that needs to be quilted. This is more of that interfacing for Jason's t-shirt quilt. I have a full fat quarter bundle from So Yeah. That can go. That can go. Oh, that can go. I don't need that. That can go. I want to keep this one. Got a fat 8th bundle of Merry and Bright. Ooh. This is Sunshine Soul from Kate Spain, who is one of my favorite designers. Look at that goodness. Yes, I'll be keeping that. Got some loose yardage of some fig tree fabric. Time to stand up and put stuff on a shelf and unlock my computer. There we go. I'm not throwing away fabric. I am not throwing this away. I am destashing. And it's going to go to a home where somebody will use it. Not going to throw it away. But the reality is, I know for me, I love to buy fabric. And I don't want my fabric collection to take over the rest of the home. So this is a prime opportunity for me to think about, am I really going to make something with that? Because if I'm not, then I can pay it forward. I just tripped over a book. Christmas morning, anyone? Ah. Got some jelly rolls here. This is Shine On, I think, from Bonnie and Camille. This is a poppy cotton jelly roll, Woodland Songbirds. And this is from a boutique shop in Wytheville, Virginia. It looks like a watermelon. These will go down here with the other jelly rolls. Ooh, these are the ones that I bought when I did that tour of that quilt shop in Harrisonburg with my mom. Look at that. I got 2 of them. The Christmas morning one is just to look at because guess what? I've made enough with Christmas morning. I have an anthology boutique fat quarter bundle that I got from a So Yeah Stash. Love it. A little congested this morning. Oh, here we go. Yes. Fig tree. I think this is Ellie and Ollie. I don't know what I'm going to make my rug out of yet, but now I know my jelly rolls are sitting here waiting for me to choose one, so that's good. Lollipop Garden, fat quarter bundle. Happy Days, fat quarter bundle. Folktale and Balboa. Right here. Balboa, Folktale. Some random yardage. I'm gonna put this with the other yardage bits. And one more fat quarter bundle. This is Floor by Riley Blake. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. This might be a D-stash. I'm going to set it over here. This one is a box that says books. Fusible batting for table runners. Put this in the corner. Ah! I don't know what to do with this, but it's pretty. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got a ton of books. Oh, that's a good idea. Ian's texting me. I like that he's just like texting me. I should just bring him on to talk. Ian, can you get on Skype? I could bring you on. Oh, no, you can't. Don't worry about it because I'm doing this from my phone. These are poly beads. I've had them for 5 years. I've not done anything with them. It's time for them to go. Oh, yay. This is a little mat. I'm not camera ready either, Ian. It's a little sewing machine mat that my swap partner from the Lisa Marie group made for me. It's made out of batiks in marvelous colors. Really happy to have this back. And I'll tell you, I need to go blow my nose. But this is something that I packed and almost immediately regretted it. I wished I would have had that in the hotel because it gave me a place to store stuff. Jason got a great big fire going right on the other side of that wall, so some of the heat's coming in here and it's raising the temperature, which is great. I don't, you know what, they gotta come out of the box. These are all journals and notebooks and books that people have given to me or I just have, so I'm just gonna put them up there. It won't be where they end up long term, I don't think, but they'll at least be out of a box, which is the goal. Oh, let me show you something actually in this one. This is a scrapbook I did a while ago, like 20 years ago. This is stupid. I only want to show you this one page. I don't want to show you the other page, but I want to show you this. So I have two sisters and a brother, and my youngest sister, Alicia, looks a lot like me, and she's 7 years younger than I am. And this was not planned, but her senior picture and my senior picture ended up looking quite a bit alike. This is me, that's her. That's awesome. We had a good laugh about that. That was, couldn't have planned that if you tried. Well, I guess you could have. Yeah, this is my memory book from my senior year of high school. And the big journaling Bible. Go up there. Go there. Random banding. I don't know what that's for. Okay. This is the last thing in this box. Oh, okay. I will just put this over here because it's got some desk stuff in it. And now this is empty. Hoya! Yay! Random pillow. That goes quite nicely in this room, actually. My D-stash box is getting big. Where's my coffee? It does match my walls. Oh, the masks. I will do another mask night if you guys would like me to. Maybe we can do that. I'll even be happy to do that before I leave to go pick up my mom because it's a really easy thing. But the mask, and I have to make a couple more anyway, but the mask pattern that I use is Leah Day's mask pattern. So if you want to do it right now, I would go look up Leah Day. The Leah Day mask, for me, I have a bigger face. It is a little bit more comfortable. So I find when I make it with batik fabric, the fabric is more tightly woven and it's thinner thread. So I feel like I get better protection, but it's easier to breathe through because sometimes that quilting cotton can be a little thick and a little stifling. So I use batik fabric. That's the first thing I do. And then I follow her pattern for adults, which is essentially you cut a piece of fabric that is 9 inches by 15 inches and you fold it in half and you just sew it together, pleat it, and whatever. If you sew it the way she does, you can actually make a little slit where you can put a filter pocket so you can put a filter in there. But I find that when I wear those, they go up under my glasses so I don't fog up my glasses. My glasses can sit on it nicely and it goes all the way down and covers my big old double chin. So I've got lots of room, but it's still snug around the sides of my face, just enough that there's not stuff escaping, and the mask isn't so tight against my mouth that I'm not breathing it in and getting all that hair and fabric and stuff and threads in my mouth. So those are the patterns that I prefer. That said, because I've been living out of boxes, we have been doing a lot of disposable masks lately. We've bought the pre-wrapped disposable masks from Amazon and we just keep a box of them by the door. I keep a stash of them in my car, a stash of them in my purse. That way they're always there, they fit, but I really prefer the batik handmade ones. So if you're looking for one. Becca, what shelving did you use for the wall? Those are the Billy bookcases from IKEA. They are the 8-foot tall ones, 93¼ inches actually. And just spoiler alert, the way you get the 93¼ inches is you get the normal 77-inch one and then they put an extender on top. So, but you can never tell. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose. My doctor told me not to use handmade fabric masks anymore. Really? Wonder why. I wouldn't use cotton fabric, but batik fabric I would. I like to use 2 fabrics when I make those masks because I know which side is outside and inside. There you go. Good morning from Northern California. Have you seen the rolling stand for the batting? Easy to make and really easy to use your batting from. Didn't see you had a closet in your new studio. Nope, no closet. No closet. And no, I have not seen the rolling stand. That sounds like it'd be a good tool to have. Oh, this was something that I can't remember who made it for me, but I could go back and look. This was garland that a swap partner that I had from the Lisa Marie swap made for me out of some Sweetwater Christmas fabric. Oh, so pretty. I actually left this hanging up in my room year round last time. This was Mary Starts Here, I believe was the line. And I think I'm going to share the wealth here and I'm going to fold it up nicely. I'm going to put it with our Christmas decorations, and we will use it next Christmas in the main part of the house instead of putting it in the studio only. I had this on display for like 2 or 3 years. I loved it because it's gorgeous fabric. Who cares if it's Christmas? I liked it. So pretty. We'll put this with our Christmas decorations. Bunting, that's what this is called, right? Yeah, oh, gorgeous bunting. Oh, that could run along the top of your shelves. I don't know if it would be long enough, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm going to set it aside for Christmas decorations for now. Oh, yes. Linen. Why do I need linen? I'm going to put this in the D-stash pile. Somebody else will love it. This is, what is this? It's like a duck cloth or a canvas. It's in the D-stash pile, that's what it is. Have an HDMI cord. Don't need this. Here, husband. This I will use. This is Onisberg. I love this stuff for making rag quilts. D-stash. Oh, this is more office stuff and thread, which I am not ready to unpack. So it's like a couple of surge protectors, my label printer, my paper cutter, an iPhone charger, and all thread, all the thread. I'm just gonna close that up. I need to figure out what I actually have an idea for a DIY project to store thread, but it requires purchasing some equipment from IKEA, so it's not gonna happen right now. Welcome back. All right. Box or tote? I have autoimmune. My doctor told me has not told me anything about my handmade masks. I sterilize them with really hot water and Clorox. Okay. Where are your desks? Not here yet. They're still in the family room. So I have 3 pieces of furniture that I'll be putting in this room. I have my Martelli table, which is in my family room. I have my long arm, which is in pieces in the basement. And I have my sewing cabinet, which is my desk. Becca linen make towels. That's great. They're in the D-stash box. One of you can make a towel. The desk is a sewing cabinet that I have desk/sewing both on, and that's in the family room. I'm not bringing the furniture in until the boxes are unpacked. So, and I can't even do anything in here with the furniture or sewing until the electrical is working. So one of the things I didn't tell you is all the electrical that's in here is great, but there's a problem. The cords are run, but the only outlets that work are the ones above the shelving and the lights. All the rest of the electrical right now is dead. The guy ran all of the wire through the space and put everything where it needed to be, but he didn't build the sub panel. So these are all dead. They don't work. When they come out to put the mini split in, the electrician has to do that. And so at that time, he's going to put the sub panel in and do a couple other small things that he has to do. We have to build another outlet over there. We have some cords that are just kind of coming out of the drywall. We want that cleaned up. So when he comes out to do the mini split, whenever that's going to be, all of this will come to life. But until that happens, I can't really work out here because I have no power. Right now I have power in the room because I'm running a large extension cord from my laundry room into here, and it's powering the space heater and my computer and iPhone, and that's about all I'll be able to do. I won't be able to do much more than that, so we're going to have to wait for that. Jackie wants to know, will we be able to buy from the D-stash? Yeah, probably. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. There's probably going to be some mystery bags, and then there's probably going to be some stuff that, like the fat quarter bundle, that I think I might get rid of. If it's a higher valued product, I'm not just going to throw that in a D-stash bag. I will probably put that as a separate thing to buy. I need to get some shipping supplies so that I can make sure I get them shipped out to you in time. So more details to come on that, but right now, get that auctioneer to sell your D-stash. Hey, do you think if I send this in to sell, yeah, they could do a Becca D-stash and they could just be like, all right, here we go. We got a fat quarter bundle. We got a fat quarter bundle. Oh yeah, I remember some of this stuff. Okay, okay. Yes, Wonder Clips. Oh. I only grabbed like a handful of Wonder Clips when we left, so I was like, nope, I'm not going to take all of them. I have this little, I don't even know. I was just keeping like little notions in this. Got some templates. I don't use this for everyday sewing, but what I do use this for is when I go on a retreat, I like to prop it open like this, and it holds all my notions, my supplies, and everything, keeps my space a little tidy. So what I will probably do is set this down here, and I will put it in my suitcase for my sewing machine. Random box that has a seam ripper, a no-touch key. Stephanie. Stephanie gave me that. Got a needle minder that I got in a swap. A couple pairs of snips, some good snips. These are Gingers. These are Tim Holtz. Another pair of Tim Holtz. Okay, so this is a box to keep, but it's mostly notions. So I will just set this over there. This was a cotton cuts challenge that I did. Man, I need to get back into doing those. I took my fat quarters and I made sawtooth stars out of them, and I never turned that into a quilt. So this is a project that I'm going to put over there because I'm going to finish that. I'm going to finish it before I move in. Thank you, Ian. Look at you, my little cheerleader. Ian's my little cheerleader texting me, "You're doing great. Thanks, buddy." And my cat, I don't know if you can see it, the cat keeps running in and out of here. It's like, what is this space? This was one of those lint, you stash it. It was one of those sticky rolls that got lint and stuff off. I bought it on yeah, obviously it's not even used. If I have gone 6 months without using the sticky roller, then I don't need the sticky roller. It can go in the box. This is very important. This is, I love the wall color, by the way. Thank you. That can be a gift. This is a mini sticky roller. Goodbye. Netta, I haven't seen her on a live or on a video in a while, but she made me that. This little doily angel, super cute. This basket was a kit that came in a ginger quilter box over the summer, and my friend loves to make craft projects. So she took the fabric and the interfacing and the pattern and made me the bucket. She kept one for her, I think. Maybe she didn't, I don't remember. But I have these buckets, and I gotta be careful because inside of this, I'm gonna show you, that's gonna go D-stash. I have a bunch of little breakable things. These are super cute. This is a little stone bowl that is from Israel. I like keeping like my little notions, and I have another Martelli cutter. I have this sticky note set. I think I got this in a swap. I haven't used it, and maybe I will. It is really cute. But I also have, I'm getting to it. I have this cute little ceramic tray. Isn't that cute? I have a challenge coin from work. Oh, Molly made this. So I have a friend that does pottery. She lives not too far from here. She's actually a friend. She's the wife of my husband's friend. You can find her on Etsy, Molly's Pottery. She makes mugs and stuff and whatever. And this is a little teaspoon rest, which I will probably actually put in our kitchen. But for a long time, I had this sitting on the bed of my machine, and I would rest like my seam ripper kind of in here so it wouldn't roll around. I love the color, so I think I'm actually going to put this where it should go. I'm going to put it by our Keurig so it holds our little teaspoon. I like Disney enamel pins. Here's one. If you have a cat, I would rethink the lint roller. I've got tons of them. That's the problem. Like, it's in the D-stash box because I've got tons more. But, I mean, this isn't packaged to go anywhere. I'm going to have to pull everything out and look at it again. I might change my mind on some of this stuff. Love your wall color. On my TV, it looks like the 2021 Kona color of the year. Oh, really? That's interesting. So I am not going to go through and open up each one of these, but I do want to show you some of this. This whole basket that's left, these are all individual thimbles that are wrapped in bubble wrap. I love thimbles. I collect them. I don't really buy many of them. I get them as gifts. So this one was actually handmade by Nita Henderson. I have a few that she made and sent to me. I have a friend who is a flight attendant, and anytime he goes to a country overseas, he picks up a thimble from that country. This one is from Jerusalem, and we don't get together very much anymore. Like, we need to make more time for each other, but with the pandemic, it's been really hard. So when he comes into town or we see each other, he usually brings me a handful of thimbles, but this whole basket is thimbles. All decorative thimbles that I want to find the perfect place to display. I had a shelf. Oh, use the sticky rolls on your cutting mat. I'll have to try that. I had a shelf in my other studio where they all just kind of sat out on display, but it was kind of out of the way and I didn't get to see it a lot, and you really only saw it if you were over by my long arm. So I'm really excited because I feel like I can find a spot on a wall here where I could put like maybe some floating shelves and just decorate them. So I'm going to put this whole basket right here. I'm not going to unpack the thimbles. I know that's my thimbles. Stay. Is this empty? Is this one empty? No, that's the one we're not going to unpack. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. What's up, Shayna? If you guys haven't checked out Shayna's YouTube channel, you should. Shayna, put your link in the chat. I will keep them. I have heard you loud and clear. Your sewing room is going to be so awesome. I'm jealous. I know, I'm jealous of it too. This is other decorations. Oh, I forgot about this. So this is a picture of my dad. He passed away a long time ago. That was my first wedding. It's a picture of my dad and me at my first wedding. And he passed away the year I moved to Virginia, actually. Or actually, January of the following year. My sister, my youngest sister, Alicia, found a card that he had signed Love Dad on. And so she scanned that image, cleaned it up, and printed out a vinyl of it and put it on a piece of burlap in a frame and gave it to my other sister and my brother. And so I like to kind of keep these two things together, and I put them on my shelves. So this is something that I'm going to just put back here. Aha! I got some magnets that say SEWBECCA. Let's put those aside. This is a quilt that I have been calling my grandma's quilt, and I want to finish it. I started it before. Maybe you could put the thimbles on a ledge above the window. Oh, that'd be really cute. Yeah, I like that idea. I started this quilt in the spring of last year, and I made some good progress on it, but then I had to put it away. It's going to look like that. And these are all of the blocks and pre-cut pieces that I have ready to go. I have all the plus blocks made, and the thing that ties it all together is this center block right in there, that center square. It's a strawberry fabric, and it just reminds me of my grandma. My grandma was not a quilter. She did not sew, but for some reason, that color and the strawberries, they remind me of her, so I was going to put this together. This is another kit I want to finish now that I'm in my space. I can pull that back out and get it done. I've got some long arm quilting pins that Stephanie gave to me. And I use the Red Snap leader grip, so I don't know if I'll use these, but I'm going to keep them just to be safe. I've got some little decorative trinkets. I am enjoying watching this live, getting lots of good sewing ideas, plus getting to know SEWBECCA better. Awesome. Jason bought this for me for Christmas a couple years ago. This little music box. The treadle and the needle go up and down, and then this little drawer comes out so you can store stuff in there, but the music box only plays when the drawer comes out. So this will have to be on display somewhere. That'll work. And to go with that, I do have, this is all decorative stuff in here, honestly. And I'm not sure I want to pull all this stuff out just yet, because I think I want to get my shelves filled in first. I'll pull this one out though, because this could go with my little hand crank machine. It's an iron that I got from Tiffy. I think that's cool. Maybe I could really use it. What is this? Oh, I remember. Oh yeah. My swap partner made this for me. This is a beautiful cross stitch that she did. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is definitely going up. All right, the rest of this box, oh wait, I keep saying that and then I pull out another item. I should just keep unpacking it. For the block I just showed, the pattern for that was Thimble Blossoms. It's pattern Rain or Shine by Thimble Blossoms. My friend Karen gave me this little dish. I feel like I'm making a mess. Oh, my bitty babies. Yeah, all right, we're gonna be done with this because everything else needs to go on the shelf. I want to get some fabric out. The fabric, the powers that be deleted my link. Oh, did they? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you guys can always just go search for Shayna Kraus. She has an embroidery sewing channel here on YouTube. You can just search her up. Find her that way. All right, let's open another tote. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome. I need some coffee first. Good morning, Pat. Bug squisher or doorstop. The iron can be a bug stop or a doorstop. I love that. Actually, yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, first things first. I'm really happy to see this because these are command strips and this is how I hang quilts. And I have a couple quilts I want to hang and I can't do it without these. So I was waiting to unbox that. Oh, we got this in a ginger quilter box. What do you do with the jelly rolls? Well, right now they're sitting on my shelf. This is the contract for the renovations for the old house. I should probably, there's some other important papers in there. I'll go through them later. I'll send them over there. Blah. Ooh. What's, oh yeah. For my GoPro that I never use. Okay, this one I'm not going to unpack yet either, because there's some stuff in here that I'm not sure about. And mostly what this is are little yes! Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so to go with those command strips, so let me tell you my system for hanging quilts. When I put my quilts up on the wall, there are a number of ways you can do this. You can stitch a sleeve on the back of your quilt and then you just put like a rod through it and hang the rod up. You could just pin into the wall or hammer little fine nails into the quilt, into the wall. All of those work. What works for me is a combination of 3M command strips, actually like the Velcro ones, and these jumbo clear Wonder Clip like things. I'll pull one out and show you. Takes me a minute. These are extra wide, and the width on them holds the command strip a little bit better than your normal Wonder Clips, and I like them clear because they don't distract from my quilt. So what I usually do is I take these and I put the Velcro command strip on the back of the clip and then another piece on the back of the wall so that the Velcro strip locks together. One's on the wall, one's on the back of the clip, and that allows me to hang my quilts up on the wall. And because they're 3M strips, I can pull them off of the wall cleanly without damaging my paint, without putting a hole in my wall, any of that stuff. But it works for holding my stuff up. So like I had mentioned, I have a couple of quilts that I really want to hang up, but I started actually to look for just a small package of these on Amazon. I cannot find them. And so I've just been waiting because I knew I had a whole bag of them. This will be more than I ever need. I have a whole bag of them here. I got them off of Amazon, and I have a whole bag of 3M Velcro strips. Those two things combined together are going to let me start hanging up some of the quilts around my home that I want to display. This is the Jean Truelove quilt that she did for 2021. I never finished it. I want to. All right, the rest of this stuff is just office stuff, so I'm not going to go through all of that. I really want to just get my fabric out. Yeah, it's going to take me a long time to get through all this and get it all organized, Ellen. Definitely. That's why I'm just trying to focus on the fabric, if I can. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay, give me this. Oh, shoot. A little heavy. Hi, Teresa. Binder clips work. What? Okay, that's really cool. You could do some really pretty binder clips and have little nail holes to hold the, that's a great idea. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the yardage, and I want to show you guys how I packed this away because I did get a lot of questions about this. This was actually Stephanie's idea. So in every one of these bins of fabric, I have 2 or 3 dryer sheets that helped keep pests out of the bin. I also made sure to put all of my yardage in Rubbermaid containers. So what I did is I laid a row of fabric, then I put a dryer sheet, and then another row of fabric, and then another dryer sheet, and then a dryer sheet on top. So all of this is my yardage. I've got several of these. We're just going to pick them up and put them on a shelf. I'm not going to put them in any particular order because I am sure I'm going to reorganize them later. But I do want to show you. Oh, Irish Spring Soap is also supposed to do the same thing if you are interested. I do want to show you that when I put my yardage together, what I do, I'm going to pull this one out and I'll just fold it for you. I have my cut off of the bolt, which normally looks like this, right? When I get it home, I unfold it and then I fold the selvage. I've got two edges there. The two selvages are meeting each other, and I fold it to match this fold, right in half, lengthwise. And then I just kind of make sure that I'm not getting any creases or any folds in it all the way down. And then I lay it on a table or a surface because that works best. And I grab these comic boards, which I can't give you a link for right now, but if you search comic boards on Amazon, you'll find them in packages of 100. I use a comic board and I lay it on the fabric, and I just give myself a little bit to kind of start it, and I just wrap the fabric around that comic board just like this. This method works best if you have at least a yard of fabric. If you have, and then all the way up, of course, but if you have less than a yard, like a half yard or a fat quarter, this really doesn't work too well. So I have a different system for folding that fabric. But all of my 1 yard plus, sometimes if I have 3/4 of a yard, I'll do this too. All of them are on these little comic board strips. And what that allows me to do is kind of set them up like books on my bookshelves. The Billy bookcases are 11 inches deep, and the shelves are adjustable, so I can make them the right height for these little bolts of fabric. So I'm just going to start grabbing this out and filling it in on one of the shelves, knowing that I'm going to have to move it again later. This is kind of where I have my yardage, so I'll just start putting it here. That's not going to work. I need to adjust a shelf. Okay. I'm just going to stand this up and see where the little pins need to be. There we go. I just have to go up one level. Then I'll grab my shelf. This loose yardage, I'm just going to set on the smaller shelf for now, and I'm just going to start filling this in. This is all batiks, by the way. I know I don't want to get rid of any of these, so I'm good. Actually, this one, I don't think I want. I think I'll de-stash that. Okay, some of these boards buckled a little bit, but they'll still work out okay. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about what fabric is going where. I'm just going to put it up. So I'm going to empty this whole bin and put it on the shelves. Now I'm going to move this one up so I can continue my yardage down. Actually, Cheryl, I did use my old iron as a bookend stand when I had my books up. I may end up doing the same thing. There we go. One bin, it flopped over. One bin emptied. I'm gonna move these down here out of the way. Okay. I need a step stool. Always one that turns. Okay. Come on. Get on there. There we go. Time to sit down and take a break. I want some more coffee. I am so congested. Your mama will be able to use all your empty boxes when she moves. Yeah. Keep on moving those shelves. It's making my OCD happy. So, now that I know how big my shelves need to be for my fabric, I already know what my plan is for the shelves. I just have to arrange them. So that shelf where I've started, on that level where I've started my yardage, that whole shelf all the way across and the one below it, those two are going to be for yardage. My pre-cuts I'm going to have at the top, but I want to make those shelves smaller, and because it's an extender, I need to put another shelf up there to divide it. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to put my bolts of fabric and bins and other big things. So I'm going to take this extra shelf that's down here, I'm going to put it up at the top so that across the top I have shorter shelves. Does that make sense? So I have really thin shelves across the top all the way across, and then I'll have probably like 3 of them, and then I'll have fabric, like yardage, for 2 all the way across, and then bolts of fabric and other fun things. So the shelves are anchored to the studs in the wall. They put extra studs in so they're not falling down. Try putting the tub on your chair and rolling it to where you are. Oh, you're so smart. That is super smart. Why am I opening this one again? Why? In fact, I'm not going to do anything with this stuff yet. Leaving it in the tub until I'm ready to unpack it will just keep things a little bit more organized. These are fragile and they're already out, so we're just going to set them somewhere over here. How do you like me now? I like that song. It's stuck in my head for days. Will the additional construction to complete your studio cause a lot of dust, affect fabric? No. All of that's done. And the guys have already said that if they need, oh, it's 58 in here now. Sweet. They've already said that if they're going to do something, they'll kick up dust. Like when they go down there and put in the mini split right there, it'll kick up some dust, but they're going to drape plastic over the shelves so nothing on here gets any dust. So. This one's heavy, I'm not lifting it. This one's heavy, I'm not lifting it. AAG artistically says, absolutely love your color choice. Your new quilting room is a dream. I love IKEA, and I am working on converting my garage into a quilting room too. I got a few comments about why would you do that? Don't you want to put your car in the garage? And I was like, no, my long arm is more important to me than my car. Ooh, more fabric. After you finish all this, look at the experience you'll have. You'll be able to do my liquidy split. Just hire myself out. I do write, and Ian does too. We write blog posts once a month for the Cotton Cuts blog. And the next one that I'm going to write is actually about the decisions that I had to make for building a quilting space from scratch. So if you're interested in what those were, what challenges I had, make sure to check out the blog. They're upside down. I heard you, but I don't know if I can lift this. So it's heavy. It's so stinking heavy. Ooh, pretty fabric. Is that Nest? Yes, it is. I got that when I went with Stephanie to Tennessee in July. How do you like me now? My blog this month will be come back, Ian. Dibs. Oh, Ian's blog this month is going to be about what to do when you have creative blocks. So check out the blog. Just admire all the prettiness. Look at that. Isn't that great? Later, are you going to be sorting your fabric by color or by designers? No, probably not. Probably not. Maybe I will. We'll see. It's a lot of work to do that because I have to pull out every single cut of fabric, look at it, and it ends up racking my brain and causing me to have a bit of anxiety because my fabric isn't all, like some of it's not just red, and then I don't know what to put it, you know what I mean? And then it becomes, okay, well, what if I want to keep it by designer? Well, I've got my favorite designers and I got my other designers. So what I actually ended up doing in the other place, and it's packed that way, so as I'm pulling it out, I'm already kind of doing that. I just need to fine tune it a little bit. I had my batiks and my quilting cottons. And then in the quilting cottons, I had grunge, because anything that I had a lot of, I would kind of group together, but it would still be mixed in with everything else. It would just be this section of that shelf would be dedicated to grunge. Layla would be here. Bonnie and Camille would be over here. Corey Yoder would be over here. That's kind of really how I did it. But I didn't take all of their pre-cuts and put it in. It was, yardage was all in one area, pre-cuts were in one area, sorted by size. I can't wait to build a sewing she shed this year. Awesome, Teresa, that's gonna be great. So for me, I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Now, that said, once everything's out and on my shelves, I mean, this is my forever sewing studio, so it may change. I actually just take a look at the shelves behind me. Would it look absolutely stunning to have it like absolutely color value organized, even down to the shade? Yeah, but it also just looks really scrappy and a lot of fun with them all mixed in together. So I'll probably leave it that way for a little while. Becca, what is your heat and cooling source? I'm curious for my own conversion. Need to blow my nose, sorry. Sorry. So we are putting in I think it's a 9,000 BTU mini split. If anybody knows stuff about this and that made sense to you, great. If it didn't, I'm sorry, I might be quoting it wrong. So I could tell you a little bit about the specs of this garage. It is a 336, I think, square foot area. And I believe it's either 900 or 9,000, I don't remember, BTU mini split. It has its own condenser outside, and then the mini split will go, it's weird because when I point to the wall, I'm actually not pointing to the wall. It'll go right there, like right up, right up there, right in that area, right there. And it's going to be controlled by a remote, so I don't have to reach up there. And that's going to heat and cool this whole space. It's air conditioning as well as heating. What brand it is, I don't know. I just paid the contractors the money to do the conversion, and they did all the things. But the guy that's leading up the conversion, he knows his stuff. I trust him. He does a fabulous job. So I know he's giving me something that will adequately heat and cool the space. Additionally, we've put in a lot more insulation than what was out here before. And we've done a higher end drywall to kind of dampen sound from the garage into the home and vice versa. So this should be fabulous. There should be no issues. The only thing right now is because the heating system isn't there, the room's chilly. I have a space heater out here oscillating, and I have it set to turn off when it gets to 72 degrees. It's at 58. That's an improvement because it was at 49 when I came out here. I do have the door to the house from the laundry room open, so some of that warm air is flowing in. And right on the other side of this door is our laundry room and our family room. And we've got a big fire going out there to kind of heat up the space a little bit too. So I'm sure that that's helping. I don't know why I was going into all that. What about the floor? The floor, so this was a garage and it wasn't level. It was angled down because it was a garage. And so what we had to do is level out the floor. They put in some really strong framing and a subfloor. And then on top of the subfloor, we put in a nice, it's not Berber, like the rough Berber, but it's not fluffy stuff either. We put a nice carpet in, and you can kind of see it back here a little bit. It's got a diamond weave pattern to it. They put a really nice thick padding underneath too, so it feels really good under your feet. I've had a few people ask me, why did you go with carpet? Why didn't you go with hardwood, tile, laminate, something along those lines? Well, first of all, carpet's always going to be a little bit more cost affordable. At least that's what I was told. So I went with high-end carpet instead of the laminate or the wood or the tile. The carpet doesn't really feel cold to my feet. It does feel a little bit chilly because the whole room is chilly right now, but it's actually quite comfortable. If it was laminate or tile or wood, my feet would be a whole lot colder because that would be a hard surface. When I chose the carpet, I did it because I want to dampen sound as much as possible. And the more soft surfaces I put into this space, the less surface I have for sound to bounce off of. It's not really because I'm worried about the sound bleed from here into the home. The extra insulation and sound dampening drywall and the extra doors we put in will help with that. It's really more for the video quality, the audio quality of my videos. So right now I'm just doing everything from my phone. I don't know what the audio sounds like. The room isn't completely set up either, but I can already hear a huge difference in the acoustics in this room versus yesterday when it was a hard floor. So with this carpet in here, as I'm talking, the sound isn't reverberating off of all of the surfaces, it's coming back and causing that echoey feel in my acoustics. So the sound quality in my videos is very important to me, and that's why I chose the carpet. Additionally, if I was gonna do a hard floor, I wanted heated floors. And I wasn't gonna pay for that. I don't want my feet to be cold. I walk around barefoot when I'm sewing, and maybe with socks on. So I decided I wanted carpet. And it might not be the right choice for everybody, but it is the right choice for me. Does carpet help with vibration from the long arm? Honestly, I don't know because I don't have the long arm set up yet, but I'm wondering if it will. That'd be great. I love carpet when I'm long arming. See, that's the other thing too, is this feels good under my feet. So when I'm standing at the long arm, I don't have to have a special mat or anything. And the type of carpet that we got is going to be good for being able to roll your chairs around on it too, because it's not that fluffy stuff. Sound is okay. Drink more water. Yes, I will. I have been. I'm very congested from going in and out of the cold. So I'm having my cup of coffee this morning. I always do coffee in the morning. But after that, it's pretty much water all day. That's all I drink. But I need to step up the water intake because when I do that, the congestion goes way quicker. We've got bins getting emptied, people. All right, this is a random box of notions that I really need to go through at some point, and today is not the day. It's been a random box of notions for years. But this is something that is special to me, and it's mixed in with things that mean nothing. So I'm gonna take time to look at this. Got here a little late, looking good when you get done. Wow, so happy for you, thank you. I have a random bag. And this random bag is here because I was buying those little panels that you use to make stuffed animals and dolls from, and this plastic bag was from the quilt shop, and it worked out really well to cut apart and put as crinkle material in quilt books for babies. I don't need this bag. I have a random stack of batiks. Okay. This is odd. I have a little star block that I made. Gosh, isn't that pretty? I didn't even know I had this. I'm gonna keep that. And then some coordinating fabrics that go with it. Julie says, so Becca, so glad you have let us be a part of this. Of course. I have, was this a layer cake? I don't even know what this is. Oh, was this? No. I don't know, but it's like a bunch of 10-inch squares of some batik fabrics. I'm not going to keep those. I'm going to de-stash them. Somebody else will love them. This was a quilt that I started when I first started quilting. And do you guys ever run into that issue where you're making something and you realize you don't love the fabric, so you're going to stop working on it? That was this project. It was a batik pinwheel quilt that I started for my mom. I got a couple rows done, and it's so close to being done. Like, it's so close to being done. And then I just decided I didn't like it anymore, and I quit working on it. So I'm going to put this in my scrap pile. I know some of this I'm going to send to Tiffany. I always like it when I send her a bag and it has orphaned blocks or orphaned rows, because she puts them to use, and then I feel better because it's actually done. So I will probably put that in Tiffany's box. This, I didn't even know where this went. Oh my goodness. This was a quilt that my mom actually sewed together. She sewed this. She loves cardinals. She found this layer cake at a quilt shop. She loved it. I showed her how to piece it all together. She decided on the size, the dimensions, all of that. She just sewed the squares together, and I was supposed to quilt this for her, and I never did. So this is going to go on my rack. She made it like a runway quilt. That's what she wanted. This was her desire. This was her design. This is how she laid it out. So I have a I have a quilt rack standing against the wall behind my computer, and that quilt rack traditionally in my studio has held quilt tops that are ready to go on the long arm. So I'm going to put this one over there. This would mean a lot to my mom if I actually got it done. So I will just do some loop-de-loop designs on that, and we'll call that a day. And then the rest of this is memory lane, man. Baby clothes from Zoe. little baby clothes. Little baby clothes. This is from her first birthday. I wanted to turn this into a t-shirt quilt. Wait, what did you say, Ian? I couldn't read all of it. He said, I came back into the room after walking away for a moment and was surprised at your room miraculous outfit change. Anyway. Eventually this will be a t-shirt quilt for my daughter. So as I collect little shirts and things that I want to put into her t-shirt quilt, I put it in that bin. All right, hang them on the wall, the baby clothes. I want to make a t-shirt quilt out of them. Oof. You guys, look how much we've gotten done. Wouldn't it be fun if you long-armed while she's here visiting? She could, oh yeah, you know what, maybe. That's a great idea, Mary. Oh, this is gonna be more yardage. It's so heavy. Somebody asked me, did you ever think that you would have 400 people watching you unpack fabric? No, I did not. But I am certainly happy that I do. I'm glad that each and one of you are here. Okay, this is fabric I got from So Yeah, it's African fabric. I wanted to turn these into quilts for Christmas last year, but I thought I was going to be up and running in October in my new sewing studio, and the reality is it's January of 22. That didn't happen. Oh, this is really pretty. This is really soft, like really soft linen. I will keep this one. So we'll try it again next year. I've got some fat quarters here. Just gonna put those on that shelf for now. Spring chicken fat quarters. Did I buy a fat quarter bundle of this and I dug into it? Because they're all over the place. More fat quarters. I'm going to pay this forward in a D-stash. I'm not a big brown fan. I'm gonna put that in a D-stash. I will keep that. Ooh, I like these. Okay, these are all of my big cuts, like 3 yards and up. I'm just gonna put them on this shelf here. I'm just gonna stack them up. these are all big cuts too. And these are just straight up yardage. I'm not a fan of that one. I'll de-stash that. The rest of these I'm good with. Okay, we got another tote down. Some trash in here that we'll empty out. It's coming. What's your first project once you're set up? Oh, goodness. I don't know, because the reality is I've already started so many projects, I will probably just pick those up and bring them in. Just keep going. There's something about getting your space organized, though, that really makes you inspired to create. At least it does me. Oh my goodness. Here's what I'm thinking right now. You can only see from about here over. There's more shelves this way. And you can see all the way down there. And you can't even see all the way up and all the way down in some of these. I am more than halfway through my stash. I got lots of empty space. Teresa's like, I didn't realize you had so much fabric. I'm sitting here thinking, I didn't realize I had so little fabric. Got some jolly bars here. Some more pre-cuts. Oh, yeah, we'll be keeping this. I don't know. This is all my fat quarters. I'm gonna hold off on opening this one just yet because I need to make a shelf that'll hold my fat quarters. Let me see if I've got any more yardage that I can put away. Oh, we got this. Can go down here. Oh, hey. Yeah. All right, these are quilts that need to go on the long arm for the Alaska quilt drive. So I put these over behind the camera. Okay, what else do we got? Ha-ha! Yardage. Surprise! I'm gonna do this. Okay. Man, this is good exercise. So much fabric. Okay, I'm gonna fix this shelf down here so that I can keep going with my yardage. Just came in. I have a question. What was the boards called that you bought on Amazon? My brain cannot think right. Just got up. I hate the different time zones. Comic boards. They're used for comics. Comic boards. Hey,
Hello.
want to help me?
No,
Okay.
I did help you.
You
I
did.
brought all this stuff from the basement.
You sure did. What do you think?
Think it's a lot?
A lot of fabric. That's funny because I just look at all of the space I have to store more.
That's sad.
Look at the elephant fabric. Isn't that pretty?
That's gorgeous.
I know you really just don't care.
Yeah, I know. But if you're happy.
Oh, you're a good guy. I am very lucky that you put up with all my crap.
Your daughter's up. You want me to send her in?
I'll have her help me once I get this stuff unpacked because I'm going to have to organize it. Right now I'm just trying to get all the stuff out of the boxes and onto shelves, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to organize. Yes, I know I got egg on my shirt.
Is that egg?
Yes.
Because it looks like snot.
It's not. It's egg yolk. I gotta do another row down here. Okay, another tote emptied. Thank you, Jamie. Surprise! More yardage. Oh, so pretty. I'm getting there. This is, I think, the last bin of folded yardage. I think this is it. I have a little bit more in that bin to go, but I'm going to sit down and drink a cup of coffee and read some comments. All of your shelves are starting to take on a similar look to Yvette's. Yeah, well, that may be the case. Once I get them organized, they'll probably look a little different. We'll have all those boxes emptied in no time. Go, Becca. Yes. It'll be interesting too, because once, right here is about where I'm going to be sitting. And so what's behind me right here is what you're going to see. What size comic boards do you use? I think they're the 10 by something, 10 by 6, something like that. 10 by 8? No, it can't be 8 by 10. Something like that. They're the normal size. Rather than comic book boards, I use magazine boards. Those are good too. They are about 1 inch taller and 1 inch wider. Then I use plastic alligator clips to hold the fabric on the boards. So, Trish, the problem that I have with that is I have so many comic boards already. I could probably do something like that and it would fill the space a little bit better. Magazine boards are great. The alligator clips though, where do you find those? Are those expensive? That would be fun. Becca, you will have to shop your stash. Yes, I will. And that's, honestly, that's the goal of today, is to get my stash out of boxes and onto shelves where I can start shopping from this instead of shopping from stores. For the past, gosh, okay, so I went to the retreat in Alabama in July, and that was the middle of July. And we knew when I left for the retreat that we were going to put our house on the market, or we were going to pack everything up and move out and renovate and stay there. We knew that that was happening. We just hadn't made a decision about whether we were going to sell or we were going to stay. We knew we were going to renovate. I think we knew. Anyway, it doesn't matter. When I left, I knew that when I left for retreat, I knew that when I came back home, I was going to have to pack up my room. So I came back from the retreat and started putting stuff in bins and had already been working on decluttering a little bit. The beginning of August, I think it was right around August 1st, we made the decision that we were going to renovate the home and list it and everything. We were moving out of the home. We weren't going to stay there while they were renovating, and we were going to go to a hotel. And when we did that, that's when we started putting everything in totes. I packed everything into boxes and totes in the beginning of August 2021 with the intention or the thought that we would be moved into our new home in October, late October, early November at the latest, and I would be reunited with all my stuff. But that was literally $10 for 500 of them. Great, I'll have to look that up. Maybe if you could you just send me an email, Becca@SEWBECCA.com, because I don't have anything to write it down with. I'd love to get my hands on some of those. All of that hinged on the idea that we were going to have a home that had a studio area, an area ready to be a studio. When we shopped for our home, we wanted a home that was going to have enough room for us, for me, Jason, and Zoe. Jason works from home now, so it had to have an office area for him. It also had to have a sewing area for me. Had to have an area for Zoe to grow up and expand and stretch out and be a teenager. But I also wanted enough room to entertain and have friends over. Our other home didn't have room for all that stuff. We were kind of busting at the seams, just living, the three of us, especially when family and friends would come and stay with us. We both have family, but all of our family lives at least 2 hours away. So my parents are about 6 hours away. I have a sister that's about 4 hours away. I have a sister and a brother that live in Michigan. They're about 8 hours away. All of Jason's family is about 2 to 3 hours away. His son is everybody's a couple hours away. And so we wanted to make sure that whatever home we got we had space for them to stay. In the old house, when my sister and her little boy would come, when Nicole and Harvey would come, there was no room. Like, we were on top of each other. And then if you added on top of that, that maybe Justice came home for a holiday or my parents came as well, there was no room for us. Like, we were really bursting at the seams. We made it work, sure. But it wasn't until we started thinking about a bigger home that we realized just how tight of a space we had. So we wanted the new house to have enough room to entertain, either just for a day visit or overnight stays for guests. We wanted room for each of us to have our own spaces, but also a space where we could live together and enjoy each other as family. But added on to that, we knew my parents were going to move in with us. The whole reason why we were doing a lot of this, what started it, I can't think of the right word, but what started all of that was my parents talking about in a couple of years they wanted to move in. So they live in Southwest Virginia right now, down by Bristol, Tennessee area, and they're taking care of themselves okay right now, but in a couple of years it's not going to be so easy for them, and there's none of us live near them, so we wanted to get them closer to one of the kids, and so we volunteered to sell our home and move to a bigger one with the idea that they would move in with us. We looked at a lot of homes that had a quilting area already ready for me. I could move in, build my shelves, and just go. But what they offered my parents as far as living quarters was basically a bedroom and a bathroom. And it was in the basement, which was fine, and it had their own separate entrance. We saw, when we started looking at homes, we saw a home early on that had a basement that was set up with a kitchen. Like, it had a stove, electric, because you can't have gas in a basement. It was a walkout to a level yard on a good, it was like 2.5, 3 acres of land. It's a beautiful custom home that they had just renovated. We weren't quite ready to put an offer in yet because our house wasn't even on the market, but there were things in that home that made us go, wow, we love all of these things. And it kind of defined what we wanted out of our space. And Jason and I both decided when we saw that it would be really nice as if instead of giving our parents or giving my parents just a room and a bathroom, like an ensuite or even just a whole basement, it would be great if we could give them living quarters so that when they do move in, they have their own apartment, if you will, like their own place. They can cook, they can come and go on their own. They don't have to be in the main part of the house if they don't want to be. They are more than welcome to be there, but they can live their own lives with their own independence and their own freedom with as much or as little help as they desire on a day in, day out basis. We saw a couple, when we got to the point where we were ready to put in offers, we saw a couple of homes that would kind of fit that, but it didn't have some of the other things that we were looking for. And there was just something that kind of kept us, kind of not ready to put in an offer. When we saw this house, the selling point for me was it had the land that Jason had been wanting to have. It had a full acre. We weren't in an HOA community, which he really didn't want to be in anyway. Plenty of parking and room for guests that came in from out of town. But the basement was the nicest in-law suite that I had seen of any home. And that sold the house to me. It meant we had to think a little bit outside of the box of what we were going to do for my quilting space, because I didn't have a quilting space here. So that was actually my quilting space, which was at the top of the list that my home must have, was actually the compromise that I made because the home didn't have it ready for me. So we started talking about originally what we were going to do is keep the garage, and we were going to build a detached building that was going to be my quilter studio. And it was my mom's idea. We were talking on the phone, and she was like, why would you build a separate building? Why not just finish out the garage? And I was like, I want to park my car in the garage. And we started talking through it a little bit more. I was like, actually, that makes a lot of sense, because
then I never have to walk outside to go into the studio. And if it's done right, like I've already got the electrical coming here, so I don't have to run new electrical to a new building. I don't have to worry about any plumbing because the bathroom's right there, the kitchen's right there, all of those things are right there. I do have a separate entrance, so any guests that come over and just want to be in the quilting studio, they don't have to go through my house to get in here. They can just come in through that door. It just made a lot more sense and it was more cost effective. So we decided to finish out the garage at the cost of not having a garage for our cars. Now, for some people that might be a deal breaker. There's no way you would live in a home without a garage. But for us, we have lived all of our lives without ever having a garage. So we're very much used to having to dig out the cars and not having the luxury of not walking through the rain to get to the car on the street. We're still close to the house. The parking's still close. So we just decided that was something we were okay with. Now we can, and we have thought about this, and we think we probably will do it. We'll probably build a carport over on the parking pad just so that we don't have to dig the cars out from snow or from the leaves or whatever else. But that's really all we need in this area. Most of the time we don't get snow like we got this week. Most of the time we get a little bit and it's gone the next day. And the reality is with the telecommute, telework, whatever it's called, the working from home thing that happens now. Jason works from home full time. If there's snow on the ground, Zoe's school is closed, or they'll do distance learning for that day. And the same thing for me. If there's snow, I'm not going into work. I'm going to work remotely that day. So there's really no need to have to worry about needing to come and go if the weather gets bad. So overall, I think this was the right decision. The timeline was definitely quicker and the cost was better. But it's funny because what sold me on the home was what my parents could get out of it, and it was at the cost of me having a studio. But I look at it as a bonus because since I made that decision, I got a brand new studio that I got to build and design from the ground up. So Joyce grew up in Boston, or lives near Boston, and grew up with a carport. Barbara never had a garage or a carport. And yeah, person 2463, you can always put a carport over the cars. Absolutely. You will be such a happy home to have your whole family together. It will be nice. I think right now my parents are planning to move in the spring of 2023. And maybe that timeline gets bumped up. I don't know, but it's about a year from now. Mom's coming for the first time to see the home next week, and I'm super excited. I don't know, I'm sure I've shared this with you guys before, but Mom picked this house out. It was not even on my radar. Well, no, that's not true. No, it wasn't on my radar. She picked it out. I saw it. I put it on my favorites list, and then she told me how quickly, like they had listed on Friday and wanted all offers by Tuesday. So we had to move quick. I would have a car garage and it's full of junk, so we can't park our car in it. That actually, Janet, that's hilarious, because that's one of the other things that we started looking at when we decided to convert the garage to my studio. We started thinking about, well, what are we missing? And we started looking at our friends and some of our neighbors that have garages, and you know where their cars are? In the driveway or on the street, every last one of them. What do they use the garage for? Storage. It's attached storage to the home. We can always build another shed if we need storage. So, see, Teresa said, we have a garage, but I don't get to park in it since my hubby has too much junk in it. There you go. Somebody asked, what is an HOA? It's a homeowners association. And so they're pretty common in the States, at least everywhere where I've gone. Anytime you have new development, and I'll say new development like from like the 80s on, it's an area where they have built a set of homes that all aesthetically look nice together, but they have an HOA or a homeowners association, and it comes with a set of rules that you are allowed to, there are do's and do nots for your property, what you can and cannot do while living in that community. So when you move into the subdivision, you sign on the dotted line that you're going to agree to those rules. We are one of 4 homes that are off of a county access road, a country access road, I think that's what it's called. There's a subdivision to the right and a subdivision to the left, and then there are 4 homes built off of this road, and these 4 homes are not in the HOA for either of those subdivisions. They're off on their own. Pat says, good idea to keep that lint roller. It works really well to get rid of the lint from the edges of the jelly rolls. Oh, that's a good idea. They are big in the Midwest. How would it would be HOA would be a deal breaker for me. We would never have been in an HOA. Oh. Ooh, Gisella's getting a carport this spring. They are still digging. 4-car garage here and only 1 car in it. Rest is filled with hubby's remodeling supplies. See, there you go. The metal hair clip is better. Okay, they're talking about things that you can use. We're the only ones on our road that park in the garage, Princess Cindy says. That's, yeah. Hey, Teresa, thanks for getting that for me. Appreciate it. So, yeah, that was just kind of our thought. We did not have an HOA in our old home. Jason really never wanted to have an HOA, but he was willing to think about moving into a community with an HOA when we looked for this new home. We just happened to luck out. This home had the in-law suite that we wanted to be able to offer my parents. It had space for his family to still come visit while my parents lived here. It had land, which he's always wanted to be able to have. So the sacrifice is that I had to build my studio from the ground up. All right, I got more fabric to put on shelves. Let's go. Woo! Leftover brackets. Gonna need a bin for these. Ah, here we go. This will work. Two-car garage here and a truck and a minivan in it. I wouldn't give up my garage. See, some people the garage is it's a deal breaker. You're not going to give that up. Okay, that is the last of my yardage. I do have, I think, just bolts in those bins, but we're gonna look. Bought a 12 by 16 shed in Amish country for the riding lawnmower, garden tools, etc. We actually have a really nice size shed already in the back, so Jason's taking that for storage and all the other things. Lori says you need a library ladder to get to the top shelves. Yes, actually Jason was just joking about that. He's like, we need to build you one of those rolling ladders. I was like, Yeah, I might be okay with just a step stool. HOA also usually has a large fee. Yeah, they do, by the way. That's the other thing, is you have to pay, on top of everything else, you have to pay them a fee that's either broken out annually, quarterly, or monthly, and depending on the amenities that they also provide, because some of them will have like a pool and a golf course and all the other stuff, your fee can be anywhere from like $60 a year up to a few $100s a year or more, depending on what you get into. So wow. Wow. It's still empty. I do have a quilt ladder to display some of my quilts. It's actually behind the computer so you can't see it. It holds quilt tops that are ready to go on the long arm. Mostly because I have more quilt tops that are waiting to be quilted than I actually have finished quilts. We're not in an HOA and can't even put up the flagpole I bought. You're not in an HOA and you can't put one up? Why not? Oh, you must mean you are in an HOA and can't. Mary, that sucks. Question, when you buy fabric, do you buy blenders to go with your old fabric? Sometimes. So when I buy fabric, a lot of times what I do is pick out things that I know are going to work, I either really like the looks of, or I know is going to work with something that I already have or something that I am buying. I'm looking at my fabric now, and I have a decent amount of blenders, but I also have a decent amount of focal prints. So it just really kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. It's also interesting too, because when you start to look at like fabric designers, you have their lines that they print, and the spring chicken fabric that I actually have over here is a good example of that. They design a line and it has blenders and focal prints and all of those things, and it's designed to all work together, and there are multiple SKUs in that line. It could just be 10 or 12, but it could also go all the way up to like 30 or 40 SKUs. It just depends on the designer and how big the line is. But they do make blenders for that line, and just like all of the other prints in that line, when that line, they print X amount of yards of it, and once those yards are all sold, you can't get it anymore. So if you have, for example, I just saw it, because I was looking at it thinking about this. Where did it go? Here it is. So for example, if you love the rainbow fabric from Bonnie and Camille, I can't remember what line this is from, but if you love this, this is from a specific line. This is not a fabric that they carry all the time. So when you're done with this, when all the yards are sold, this is gone. I think this is from Shine On. So in that case, if I know that the fabric or the print happens to be from a coordinated line from a fabric designer like that I really love, I won't think twice, and I'll just buy a couple yards of it. If it's something that I can use as a background, I'll buy 3 or 4 yards of it. But if it's a solid or a grunge or something that I can easily get my hands on because it doesn't go out of print, because it's a staple, then I'll only buy it if I have a project in mind or I just need to keep some of it on hand. I am lucky enough to have a wholesale account with Checker Distributors, and I can get some of my stuff. Hold on, somebody's coming up my driveway. Hello. There's a dude here with a power screwdriver walking up my driveway, and he literally just looked into his room. We'll have to figure out what's going on. Is he the electrician? I don't know. TBD. Let me go see what's going on. Yay! Oh, goodness. Okay, so our firewood's being delivered right now. We bought a rack with a cover to store our cord of firewood, and he was carrying the thing because he's going to install the rack. So Jason's out there showing them where to put it. Yay! He's so funny. So some HOAs are more than the house payment. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. So what could be in the other boxes? I will show you in a minute because we're going to get through all these. I want all the boxes opened. I know I'm not going to have everything emptied. My goal today is to have all of my stash on the shelves, stuff that I'm going to keep, and anything I'm not going to keep from the stash I'm putting in a de-stash box, and then I'm going to have a corner of boxes that I'm going to unpack when I get to it. Where are you going to display your vintage machine? It's going to be up here somewhere. Ooh, a mystery CIA Becca is on the case. I thought it was FBI. You guys are hilarious. I'm never going to tell you where I work. I like the jokes. It's fun. Keep them coming. All right. I forgot what I was talking about before all of that, but I was talking about blenders. So yeah, if I find a blender that's part of a line that's going to go out of print, I'll buy it if I get a really good deal on it or I know I need some. And the Checker Distributors account, that's my wholesale account. So the other nice thing about that is I can keep bolts of some things on hand. I don't have a Moda wholesale account, so I can't get access to any Moda fabrics at wholesale, but I can get access to some boutiques and some Riley Blake stuff and some other fabric lines at a wholesale price. But in order to do that, I've got to buy it in bulk. So it has a 3-yard cut or a 5-yard cut of some basic fabric, and I know all I need is just a yard or 3 yards or something. It's easier for me to buy from a quilt shop. So yeah, Quilting, Missouri Star, Etsy, any of those other ones, because all I need is a 1 or 2 yard cut. I don't need the 10 or 15 yards that come on a bolt. Sure, I could buy the bolt and sell the other pieces of fabric, but the fabric market is so saturated on Etsy, and there are so many other people that are selling fabric, both big quilt shops and little mom and pops. I just don't want to compete with that area. And when I think about all of the things that I've got going on in my life, I've got my full-time job, I've got the YouTube channel, and I've got projects I want to make. Spending time cutting fabric, packaging it, and getting it out in the mail takes me away from all of those other things, and I just don't have the interest to do it. So for that reason, I don't sell fabric anymore. I don't sell notions. I focus on what I want to do. I do want to start selling things that I have finished at a good price, but I don't know that I'll ever get back into selling fabric or supplies. I would much rather send traffic for that over to Stephanie or Yvette or Soya or whomever else I have a partnership with at that point in time. I'd rather push traffic out their way, let them do what they do really well, and I will do what I want to do, and I will be really good at that. So I don't want your tea stash, just your totes. Come and get them, Mary. When they took your trees down, did you keep it for logs? We could not because they were pine trees. And I have learned a lot about fireplaces and maintenance since we've moved into this home. We cannot burn pine trees in the home because of lots of reasons, and I only know some of them. It probably would have been good for an outdoor fire pit, but we haven't built that yet, so we just asked them to take them all off the property. Rhonda says, oh my, I've been trying to move all my fabric and sewing items to our sunroom, but I have a knee that needs surgery, so moving heavy items to the stairs to put away limits me, so I'm kind of at a standstill. Aw, I'm so sorry. Tammy said, 400 people enjoying your unboxings and reorganizing. Well, this is just the start. Like all of my totes, I shouldn't say all of my totes, all but 3 of my small totes are emptied now, but these have decorations and thread and some other things in them, so I'm not ready to open these and empty them yet, so I'm going to leave these filled in. I have 2 big 30-gallon totes here that I'm going to open next. These are my bolts of fabric, so we're going to get through that, and then I'm going to go through all these boxes and see what's in them, and then everything will have been opened And I literally have made a mess. Like, it was a nice tidy room and it's just chaotic now. But this is the start of how you organize, right? You got to get everything out, see what you have, and then start figuring out where you want to put it. Oh, now you could have kept them to season for an outdoor fire pit. Weenie roast, or yeah, we probably could have, but really we just wanted them off the property so we could get off our driveway. But hey, listen, the guys that are delivering the firewood, it's a really good price. We have lots of trees on this property. I got Jason a chainsaw for Christmas, so it's not a big one. He wouldn't have been able to finish falling those trees. Falling, I'm not sure what the right word is. But he's going to be able to tame some of the other things. So when the weather does get warmer, we are going to have a landscaping crew come back in, and we're going to prune some of the trees on the property that need to be pruned, and we will start seasoning an outdoor fire pit stash of wood that we can use for an outdoor fire pit, and then we will source some of that maybe for indoor, but at least now we've got like a cord of wood back there being stored. They've got like this big truck and it's just full of wood. I like your t-shirt. What does a smaller print rig, where did you get it? I made this t-shirt. So I've been trying to be a little bit more cognizant. Let me take a step back here because I don't think I've really explained this. I've talked to Stephanie and Brody and Tiankum about this, but just kind of putting this out there for everybody. I was talking a little bit about how I don't sell things and I don't have a shop anymore. I obviously need to make money at this because I have to pay for the expenses that I have with the YouTube channel. And so the way I want to be able to make money is from the ad revenue, the channel memberships, that helps. Donations, of course, help. But I wanted to up my game a little bit and have more things that I could offer without getting in the middle of it. So I came up with a merch line. Down below all of my videos, you'll see a merchandise shelf, and it'll have what look like little stickers of various quilty designs that I have made, and they're going to change throughout the year. As I make them, you can click on those little icons, and when you open it up, it'll take you to my merch shop, and underneath the add to cart button on the right hand side of that image, it'll say X number of products with this design on it. Usually it's 8. And so the design, the image I've made, I've designed it, I've built it, and then I give it to a print on demand service, and I customize and tweak it and apply it to different items so that you can just buy it. And so what ends up happening is if you like one of the designs that I've made, then you can buy it on a tote bag or a coffee mug or a backpack or a t-shirt or whatever tickles your fancy. But I am not in the middle of that. So you buy it from the print on demand service. I get a small percentage of that price back to me. They are able to pay an artisan to make the item and it ships directly to you. So I get a little bit, an artisan or the company gets a little bit of money, and you get the product directly from them. So what I have here, I'll show you. This says I have egg on here, but it says sociopath. And it says a person with a fabric disorder manifesting an extreme fascination with crafting projects to the exclusion of social interaction with others. And so this is one of the designs that are down below my video if you want to pick that up. I would love to know how you organize your notions, and that will definitely be something that we'll do. Maybe we'll do one live stream where we just organize notions. I was thinking I wanted to do recorded videos and edit them and go through all that together, but I think as I'm working in my space and getting things put away, they're just going to be live streams because then I can answer questions as they're coming up, and you guys have great ideas you can help me with. So Aaron says, my husband bought a chain battery powered. I tell everyone I love my chainsaw and they get a kick out of it. Jason's chainsaw is battery operated as well. You've gotten a lot done. I sure have. So I was going to tell you where I was going with that is what I want to focus on, what I want to be really good at are the unboxing videos. I want to be really good at bringing live stream content that you guys are excited to watch, either live or the replay. And I want to be able to provide some quilting merchandise that's not necessarily all SEWBECCA themed, because the reality is, who wants to wear a shirt? If you do, I love you, but who wants to wear a shirt that says Becca across the front? If your name's not Becca, that probably feels a little weird. I think people are a little bit more prone to buy things that are quilting themed because then everybody can understand it and it's a little bit more widespread. So that's kind of what I've been thinking of. Jealous of those beautiful shelves. Good morning from work in California. Good morning, Cake Unit. Are any of them in SVGs? I can make them in an SVG. Actually, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea, Jackie. I do have an Etsy shop, but it's on vacation mode because I don't have anything to offer. If I sell things in my shop, what I really want to be able to put in Etsy are things that I don't have to mail out because I don't have time to prepare the orders and package them. But I could sell these as SVGs for like $1 a download or something. That's a really good idea. And then you don't have to buy the shirt. You could make the shirt yourself if you wanted to. Huh. Jackie, you're onto something. Of course, if you don't want to deal with that and you want it screen printed, you can do it yourself or you can pay the company to do it. Gotta have another nap. 4 a.m. Queensland time. Looks gorgeous. Everyone have a great day. Bye. Person 2463. All right. Let's open the last 2 plastic totes. These are 30-gallon totes that I have. And I believe what's inside of these are my bolts of fabric. So I want to get those out and propped up against my shelf. That'll give me an idea for how I need to size the bottom shelves. Honestly, I would love to buy that shirt, but I have to buy new coats and the hubby needs new work boots. It'll be there for a while. You're fine. You're totally fine. SVGs are a really good idea. Okay, Susan, definitely doing that. I mean, if you have a Cricut, make it yourself. And maybe that's what I'll get into is like maybe my store, I can always have the merch shop, but maybe my store is really offering more downloadable content. That's been my desire from the beginning. Unfortunately, where my brain went is the only thing I could think that was downloadable were patterns, and I don't have the time to write patterns. They are time consuming. So, well, yeah. We'll see. I'm gonna put these up here for now. These are my Sterilite containers. This is what I use to store projects in. These are 8.5 by 11 inch, I believe. Let me tell you. Yep, it is the 8.5 inch by 11 inch Sterilite container. I'll give you a shot of the sticker right here. You can buy these on Amazon in packs of 4 or 8 or 12 or whatever you need. These are the perfect size for my project bins. They have snapping lids that lock so the lid doesn't get lost, and you can open it up and put all of your stuff for your project right inside this bin. And then if you have a label maker, you can be extra and put a label over here for what's inside. I have a little Dymo label maker that prints off on paper tape, which peels off easily. So it allows me to label my projects so I know what's inside without having to open it up. This is my favorite way to store active projects. SVGs are, I don't know what it stands for, but it's basically a scalable vector graphic. There you go. So the idea, if you have a Cricut, sorry, my head's cut off. If you have a Cricut, you can download these files and your Cricut will cut that out automatically for you from vinyl, and then you can apply it to whatever you want. We use a wet erase marker, then you don't... Oh, that's a good idea. A wet erase marker instead of labels. That's a good idea. Because it is a non-porous surface, so it would just come off. Oh, hey. What's up?
So what do you think the protocol is? Do you tip those guys or what?
What do you guys think the protocol is? The people that build your rack and deliver your firewood, do you give them a tip? Let me know in the comments. Tell you in a minute.
don't even know if I have anything to tip them with, to be honest.
I think I have I think I have some cash. I'm just trying to think what I did with it. No, yes, 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 no, 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 yes, no, yes, no, I would. Yes, tip them. Then no. 50-50, Jason. I feel like I had some money in my messenger bag that's upstairs by my bed. Are you still there? I think he's gone. Tipping is such a weird thing because obviously it's varied, right? Okay, so that's about how tall I need my bolts to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this one out. I'm just going to start putting my bolts on the shelf. Oh, nice, yes. Oh. All right. Let me sit. Oh, okay. I will do that. Offer them a bottle of water. I'll be right back. Jay? Here. Here. It's not much, but it's something. 15. There you go. And then maybe go out there and stop for about a bottle of water. Okay. Jay's offering them a bottle of water, and we found a few dollars for a tip. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Cookies too. What shelves are those? I have bolts and comic board fabric also. They're the Billy bookshelves from IKEA. Did they stack it for you? Yes, they will be stacking it. If it was just a dump, I don't know that I would tip. But we bought a rack because we didn't have one, and they're building the rack, and they are going to stack the wood. So I felt like they're providing a service. So I agree with the tip them. Are your front windows in yet? No. And actually this side window over here that looks horrible, that's going to be replaced as well. Actually, and I don't know how much faith I put into this, but the windows are supposed to be in on my birthday. So we'll see. Yep, they're the Billy bookcases from IKEA. They're amazing. Yes, tip for that. Yep. So Jason's going to offer them water and give them a nice little tip.
windows will be there in February. Yes, Nancy, you got it. All right. Yeah, on the bolt. There we go. Big bin, empty. Hold on, I'll be right back. Gotta put these out here.
What?
I'm putting this out there for a scrap.
Oh, wait a minute, I got one for you.
Oh, all right, I'm just gonna put this out the
You
front
go ahead
door.
and use that one, that's fine.
Okay. Hello. Any scrap for kindling, we're gonna put in this.
That's perfect. Do you want us to set it back with the wood, or you leave it here, or what do you think?
Jason,
Just leave it there.
leave it here. Thank you. All right. This is a lot of work. All right. That's a lot of work bending over. Will you put this in that trash? Thank you. Has any of your fabric been washed? No, I don't pre-wash. What are the best size of the comic boards to buy? I don't know, but you know what I will do in the Facebook group? If you're not a member, you can do !Facebook. I'm out of breath. If you do !Facebook, you'll get a link to the group, and I'll put a link for the comic boards that I use and all of my staples for organizing. I will create a blog post in the Facebook group, and I'll put the links to those. That means the flying geese will be pointing up for today. Yes. Claudia said Claudia, oh yes, I do have a sister in Michigan. I wonder if she's in our neck of the woods and we could do a meet and greet. My sister lives in Lincoln Park. For the checker, how do you get an application, or how do you get a checker account? Well, you have to have a business. You have to provide a business, you have to provide like your business license to show that you have a resale license in your state, and then you fill out the application, you give them your tax ID and all that other stuff, and then they'll reply back and tell you that your account is approved, and then your first order you have to place with them over the phone, then after that you can do it online. Take a little break. Yep, that's why you guys are here, because like I can sit here with the excuse of reading comments and then do a little more, and then sit and then do a little more, and then sit and then do a little more. Marysville, I don't know where that is. It's okay, it's your exercise for today. I am super impressed with how much stuff is out of boxes and on shelves. And I'm also super impressed with how much shelving I really have because I haven't even put a dent, I don't feel like. Maybe like 20% of the shelves are actually occupied now. Lincoln Park is on the other side of the state, boo, but only 3 hours. We could maybe plan a retreat halfway in between. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
How long are you gonna be doing this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Why? You want to come in here and hang out with me?
No. I was just wondering if you want to help out by taking care of the Hannah thing.
Oh, taking her home today?
No, her
Oh, get her
CVS.
meds? Yeah, I'll take her to get her meds. They'll be open till like 6. So
Okay.
you got plenty of time. Man, I won't be on, Jamie said, all day, Jason. Definitely won't be on that late because I don't want to overlap with Stephanie's live this evening. And I want to take a shower at some point today. So probably another hour or two, I guess.
Okay.
Ooh, Polly grew up Lawrence. I knew a Mike Lawrence. Went to school with him. Grew up in Taylor. I grew up in Taylor too, actually. I went to Kennedy. And Delia is an hour north of Detroit. Oh, Grand Haven. Nice. Fairhaven. Mount Clemens. Know all of those things. Comic boards. 6.75 by 10.5. Yep, that sounds about right. Do you have more shelves now than you did before? Yeah, I think I do. What do you think, Jay?
What?
Do you think cumulatively I have more shelving than I did in the old place? I think so, yes?
More, if you had more shelving?
Yeah, because these are taller.
I believe so.
I think so
I
too.
want to think so. I want to think so, but that's.
Because they had the ones at the foot of the stairs too. I just didn't use them for.
I would say it's more.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Well, they're all taller.
Yeah, they're just because they're taller,
Mm-hmm.
and you could actually even more stuff on top of these. So
Mhm.
I think you have a little bit more. Maybe not a lot more because it was just the fact that the other place they were you had some on this wall, some on the other wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, you did have quite a bit. You had that whole corner by your desk, and then you had the whole wall by the foot of the steps. It could be the same or close.
Katie says, "Where is Jason from? That accent sounds familiar." Where are you from, Jason?
Virginia.
He is from Shenandoah Valley, Harrisonburg, Virginia. I went to Taylor Center. Go Rams. No, Kennedy. Which both are closed. Well, yeah, Taylor Center and Kennedy are both closed, and Truman is the only school in Taylor now. Becca, you are lucky to have a beautiful space. Thank you. If you have a comic book store near where you live, I have found the boards about $5 to $7 cheaper to buy in the store than ordering off Amazon. Oh, that's awesome. Gwenny says, in a previous video, Becca had said she had a code we could use. So yeah, and she would get recognition. Anyone remember that code? I do. It's SEWBECCA. And in the description box down below this video, there's actually a link that you can use as well. It works for anything on the website, fabric, notions, sewing machines, but you have to be able to buy it on the website. I don't get credit if you buy it on YouTube or if you have to call and buy it. Ah, yep, another fellow Virginia native. Shelby, Michigan. Nice. I'm from Tennessee. I love Jason's accent. Hello.
You unpack?
Yeah, actually, I would.
Okay.
Come on in, Rick and Morty. Everybody say hello to this person. You want to say hi? The camera's on my phone. We're on a live. Do you want to introduce yourself? No? We'll just call you It?
Yeah.
Okay. This is It. I've got most of it done. Look at all that stuff. Are you still asleep?
And
Yeah.
I stayed up until like 5 this morning and then crashed.
Does anyone have a YouTube video to recommend for how to fold the fabric on a comic book board? Yes. Rewind. Because I showed you, but I can show you again, and I'll just do that right now. And then I will create a video, like an actual 3 or 5 minute video on this because everybody keeps asking about it. So this is my fabric. Will you put this in the kitchen for me? Please. And then you can get the stuff off of the steps so that it's not a trip hazard. That'd be great.
Where do you want me to put
Just
fabric?
put it on top of this bin right here. Or there. Yeah, put it here. Put it here. That's it. That's good.
Okay.
All right. So you buy, I have the 6.5 or 6 3/4 by 10.5 inch. That's my comic board. Standard size for comic board. They might vary by like 1/4 of an inch or so, but 6 3/4 by 10.5, I believe, are the size that I buy. And so I buy my yardage. This works best for any piece of fabric that is at least a yard or more. Honestly, if it's 3 yards or more, I just leave it folded different and I put it on a different shelf because that could be background or it could be backing if it's a 5-yard cut. So I leave those stored a little bit differently. So anywhere from 1 to 3 yards I put on my comic boards. So when you buy your fabric straight off the bolt, it looks a little bit like this, right? You have your selvage ends folded together and then the other side you have a fold. So it's folded once already off of the bolt. When you get it home, it could be folded a number of different ways. I find every person at every store folds it differently. Stores don't. I think So Yeah is the only one that has a standard system for folding and everybody folds the same way. But most quilt shops, all the employees even seem to have their own folding method. And there have been a couple of times where I've been like, I'll fold it because it makes my job a little bit easier when I get home. So what I do is when I get the fabric and I'm ready to prep it to fold onto my comic board, I grab it like this and I fold the fold to the selvage end, just like yay. And then I just kind of shake it out a little bit. And I'll put my forefinger in between the selvage edges and the fold. And I'll just kind of scooch my thumb and forefinger along to make sure that I don't have any twists or hanging indents and it looks like it's nice and flat. Once it is, then I lay it down on a surface, a table, and unfortunately you can't really see that here. But then I take my little comic board and I set it on the fabric about that far in so that I have enough that I can start kind of wrapping the fabric around the board. Normally I'm doing this on a table. I'm going to do it up here so you can see. I started off this way and then I just wrap all the way down. All the way down. So now all my fabric is wrapped around that comic board. And obviously if I'm doing it on a table, then I have better control over the fabric staying lined up and being nice and neat and tidy. I have seen some people take pins and put them in their fabric to hold it on. I've seen some people take and fold the raw edge so that it's not hanging out. I actually don't do any of that. I just leave it like this and I just make sure that when I put it in I have a good bit so that's about halfway in on the other side and I feel like that usually stays okay. I put my hand on it when I put it in my shelf like this and that just kind of keeps it from twisting like this. The benefit of storing fabric in this way is obviously I can put it up and down on the shelf like I have behind me, which I think looks fabulous. It allows me to see every piece of fabric that I have. But the other nice thing is this is ready for cutting. So if I have a pattern that says I'm gonna need a 5-inch strip of fabric or I'm gonna need a 1/2 yard of fabric, I can pull this out and sitting at my desk, I have a cutting mat that goes 18 by 24, I think it is, something like that. I don't have to take this over to my big Martelli table to cut yardage because I have it folded 4 ways. And I do have a video, it's in my Back to Basics series. You can go look at the rotary cutting video. It's under if you go to my YouTube channel page, down there is a section that says tips, tricks, and demos. And there's a video there on rotary cutting that you can look at. And I show you how to cut fabric that's folded just like this and make sure that you get a straight cut without getting that elbow at the crease. So this is how I fold my fabric. This is how I cut all my fabric. It's everything. Oh no, everything. Just put it back on the shelf.
This one's in a bag though.
Yeah, just put it on the shelf. I haven't gotten to the point where this is organized yet. I'm just trying to get everything that's in these over there. That's all.
Okay.
Oh, no, honey, I love you, but you can put that back in that box. That's stuff I'm getting rid of.
Oh.
You're trying to help so much. I am so sorry. Here, go give that to your uncle.
Okay.
Ooh, I see a quilt. This is a quilt that Lori Fayer made for the Alaska Quilt Challenge. And I quilted it, but I didn't get it bound. So I'm going to bind this weekend so it's done. I'll show this to you. She did a jelly roll raised quilt, and this is going to go in the Alaska Quilt Drive for So Yeah. I did just a swirl loop-de-loop all over quilting pattern on it to add some, just to get it quilted. That's all I did. I did this on the long arm. This is the last quilt that I quilted, I believe, before we packed everything up. Will you please take this and put it on my sewing machine so I can bind it and have this done? Thank you. You like that one?
Mhm. Pretty.
Oh, hey, Alyssa, how's it going? Olissimo. Hey, there's my Roxanne's glue based it. What is all this stuff? Okay, these are notions that I'm not ready to do anything with yet.
You okay?
That was just metal, it's fine.
Oh.
There was a box cutter around here.
You sure it wasn't in there?
No, maybe it was, I don't know.
Let me go look. I think I saw it.
Ooh. Yes, please. This is my little...
I think I found it. Is
Okay.
it this?
No, those are my steps. Put those back.
It was in the living room.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bag. Ah, here they are. This holds my Wonder Clips. This is a So Sweetness pattern. It is the desktop cube. That's my... Hannah, how do I introduce you? Do I call you my niece? They want to know who you are, and I don't know the right word.
I mean, I'm trans, so nephew, I guess.
Okay, well, you can explain that. She's not through a change, but she identifies as a boy, so he,
I'm going on testosterone this year.
we can say nephew Parker, or honestly, the family's been calling her Hannah. I don't think she loves it. This is a very weird place for me to be. I'll just be totally open about that.
I really don't care.
She gives like the family a free pass, or he gives it. I don't know.
It's okay.
It's not okay though, but I just am completely ignorant with all these things.
I give anyone that knew me as Hannah before I came out a free pass, but if you've known me the whole time you've known me as Parker, I kind of get pissed off.
That's how I am. Like, cause everybody, like, you call me Becky. I hate that name. So I don't like it when people call me that. But I give you a free pass if I knew you before I started going by Becca. But if you never knew me as Becky, I get pissed off when you call me Becky.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm like, please don't. I hate that name. It sounds like the same thing. Maybe not to the same degree, though. All right, so these are all books that I want to get out of the box and put on a bookshelf. So why don't we just go down there and we'll just stack them up in that one, and the one that you can reach that's empty over there. I'll hand them to you. You can start stacking them up. Thank you.
Is right here good?
Oh, they all say welcome, Parker. Yeah, that's good. What's the money?
Sure.
She said sure and yoinked it. It was like $2 too.
I'm never gonna turn down one.
You'd be silly to do that, right? I'm just gonna put this right here. Put that down there, please.
Do you want the quilting books separated from
No.
the spiritual books?
No, you can put them all down there, it's fine. It's all good. In the hood. The shelves are gonna be a mess until I get a chance to make them not a mess. Hold on, put this over there, and this over there. And these are decorations I will put up here. Hi. Hold on. You can come in. Open the door. Hello.
So you're all set.
Okay.
This came with a rack,
Okay.
and then we were a little bit of wood short.
Okay.
Like almost a wheelbarrow full. So
Okay.
can we just come by in the
Yeah,
next
that's
couple
fine.
days and put it on there?
Yeah, but could you stop by the house because my husband has a tip for you guys?
Door at the front
Yep,
door?
just knock at the front door and let him know you're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, these are gonna go up here, but I don't think you can reach with all the stuff that I have, so I'm just gonna set these up myself. Can you pull them out and hand them to me? All the boxes like this. I forgot how many kits I had. Does that look like a crochet blanket? Can you see that? Thank you. Okay, that one's full. Ooh, I just got dizzy when I did that. Ooh. No, I'm good. These are all my patterns. Just want to get the boxes out of here.
There's a box, but it doesn't
No,
have
not that big box. But these are good. Oh, this is a quilt that Tiffy made for me. Nope. They want to know if it's cold in here.
No.
Just some more quilt locks. That's a good idea. Hello, Mother. I see you texting me. Are you watching the live stream? This is a quilt I want to hang up.
Enjoy your pens.
Yeah, some of them.
What do you want them
Well, actually, we can just pick this box up and go set it in that corner. It should be light enough to carry now. Mom said, yes, I'm watching. Okay. Do you see these? Will you go put these in that box? When is your long arm moving in? Hey Jay, when is my long arm moving in? January 21st.
Like everything else, when you tell me.
January 21st or sooner. Oh, when she said go to my house, knock on the door, it sounded like it was studio on her property. I said main door, sorry. Yeah. I made this for my mom.
Where's my old sketchbook?
Take it. Take it. There's some more books that you can put up.
This might actually be Zoe's.
That's
I
fine.
just had the same one. Do you want me to put Zoe's books in a different place?
Yeah. Those are just empty folders. You can have them if you want them.
I'll put Zoe's stuff in here.
Hello, Mama Nancy. Ow. I just read that Mom and Pop's heater in the sewing room is not working good enough, so not sure they will be back on. Oh no. Hey Hey, Becca, great to see you moving into your sewing studio. I'm so excited for you and your viewers. Thank you, Kirk. Deborah, actually, I see. When you tell me, that's what a husband answer. Hey, will you get these books and put them on the shelf over there with the other ones? It's a mess out here, man. Don't try and do them all at once, because they'll just drop them, okay? It's okay if they fall down. They don't have to be perfectly up and down, because I still have to organize everything.
Okay.
Here. The stuff on the chair you can put over there.
On the same shelf?
Yep.
No, I can't.
Okay. Just turn it, lay it on its side. Turn it around. No, other way, other way. No. Yes. Now turn it towards you so the opening comes out this way. There you go. Like that. Just do that. There you go. It'll work. And then you can put this one over there the same way. Alright. And then, no, put it back in, it's fine. There's nothing in there. Put these up here somewhere. I have gotten through almost all of everything in this room, and I'm starting to get really hungry. So, oh my God. Ah! Oh! All right. These are quilts that need to be quilted. So do you see that bin over in front of my quilt ladder?
Mm-hmm.
Just go set all of these, and you're gonna have more. Go set all of these on that bin. These go over there too. These are quilts that I want to hang up. And then I don't care what shelf you put these on, because that one's full, but we have more books. So just find a shelf and stash them.
You want me to move those?
No, just put them right here.
Okay.
We'll organize all of this stuff later, but right now I just want everything out of a box. There you go. If you have to lay them down, just lay them down. Lay them on their side, honey. There you go. There you go. Do you like teddy bears?
Yeah.
Teddy bears. You want one? Just whichever ones you don't want, just put on the shelf somewhere. Oh, here's the comic boards. This is exactly what I use. 6 3/4 by 10 1/2. This is my comic boards. Oh, my stack of to be quilted is ridiculous.
And honestly, it's only grown in the time that I've been in transition, so. Ooh. Hey, go put this on my sewing machine. This needs to be put together. Please and thank you. Alright, that's good. That'll do her. What's in here? Stuff I can't unpack yet. Okay, I'm ready to take a break for lunch. What about you?
Yeah.
Let me see if there are any questions in the chat that I can answer, and then I'm going to break and go eat. That was heavy. Hey, Tiff. Let's see. Cannot wait for Soya D-Stash tonight. Yes, a UFO long arm day in that box for sure. I am almost through all the boxes. So I have opened every single box, and I've either uncovered that it's not ready to be unpacked yet because I have to get this organized, or I've decided it's something I don't want, which is in this box, or I'm keeping it and I put it up there. So the next step is going to be for me to organize this, get it the way I want it, and then start going through these and unpacking them if possible. But if I'm being honest with you, it is 2 o'clock just about Eastern time, and I haven't even had breakfast yet, which is great because I will be on budget for calories today. All I've had is my coffee, and I'm starting to get a little shaky, and I'm ready to eat. I think my blood sugar is going to drop. So it's time for me to go have some food, and we've got to run to CVS to get your meds. Yeah. And I need to take a break. I've been in here for a few hours, so really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. It's always so much easier to take a daunting task head on when you have some friends to talk to and hang out with. So thank you so much for doing that. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you manage to enjoy any part of this, hit that subscribe button down below, click the bell to the right of it. That'll allow you to get notifications when I go live. Don't forget, Stephanie will be live tonight at 5 o'clock. Teresa and Tiffany will both be live tomorrow. And I will have my first Better Health block video up tomorrow. So I'll see you all then. Peace, we're out. Bye, guys.